This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, get ready to poorly cover up that English accent and solve some real dumb puddles, because this week we are talking all about Uncharted.
Did you say puddles? Solving puddles?
Did I say puddles?
I thought so.
I meant puzzles.
Maybe you did.
I don't know.
Let's just leave this in.
There's a couple of puddles in this movie, too, so I think we can leave it in. My name is Andrew Jupin.
I am Steven Sadak.
I am Eric Sisko.
I am Chris Uncabined.
And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in, as always. That's
Puddles.
right. Puddles.
All
Puddles.
right,
Puddles.
Tummy
Puddles.
puddles, dude.
Oh, no, no,
my
no,
God.
no.
If you want to know about tummy puddles, this is a sexual thing that two
Yes.
consenting adults can do. We talked about it on our Patreon.
We did
actually.
indeed.
Patreon.com/ what is it?
Patreon.com/We Hate Movies.
Thank you,
Eric.
Chris.
There we
That's
go.
exactly
God.
what it is.
Oh, were you making sure he was awake, or did you forget what the URL was?
I want to make him
That's
part
the
of
mystery.
That's the
mystery, Mr. Star.
Chris.
Oh,
Listen,
Christ.
Chris Cabin's like Vanna White. Sometimes you throw
Oh,
it over.
yes.
That's. I have to be the pretty one always.
Yeah, you got some rocking tits, too.
Well,
now,
my Pat Sajak here is always drinking.
I guess Steve should be Pat Sajak.
That's true. That's true. That's what
Are
they
you-
called me in fucking grade school.
You guys, you and him were immigrants to this country together.
Two lowly wretches on the same boat.
He turns out he had the wheel of fortune on that one.
Patrick, where do you think we will show up on the wheel of a fortune?
Well, you got bankruptcy, right?
I did.
oh, man. So, yes, anyway, we're talking about 2022's Who Farted, directed by Ruben Fleischer.
Who is the king of Who Farted movies?
I think
Zombieland, Double
Yeah.
Tap.
Tommy
Double Tap.
Puddles was on Melrose, right?
Yes.
Tommy Puddle. Yes, that's intrusive. We're having intrusive puddle thoughts here.
But
It's like Inception. There's like different, like you're just planting tummy puddle
he did.
thoughts.
I mean, that Venom movie's kind of fun, or is
Yes.
very fun.
Yes.
And then it's much better than the movie he didn't direct, Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, directed by Andy Serkis. Anyone else remember that?
Yeah.
Are you
Andy
joking?
Serkis directed
Yes,
that
he
movie.
did.
Holy shit.
Or maybe he was, I don't know if he directed it or a CGI construct that he was mocapping directing.
Well,
Right.
that's-
Wait, are we sure it's him and not like a bunch of clowns?
Could be in
You know,
a trench
circus?
coat. Yeah,
An
yeah.
actual circus directed that
Okay.
movie?
With the
Maybe
tent and
a
everything.
juggler did it?
I think, well, because Circus, it was like the whole idea was like, where he knows motion capture, he
Yes.
must know how to direct a movie.
that movie was terribly
Right.
Not fun.
And then he did this Zombie Lands. I only saw the first one, which I thought was fine.
He got the he did the movie that had to be docked because of the Aurora shooting.
Sure.
Gangster Squad.
Yep.
Uh,
Movie theater terrorists attacking them.
the gangster, the old gangsters
What?
go into a movie theater and gun down everybody. So it happened right around
Oh.
Yeah.
when. So they were like, "Yeah, no, we're not gonna."
That
no.
went away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever wind up seeing it?
Oh yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, Ruben Fleischer. To be clear, even Zombieland, which I like the most of the bunch.
yeah.
Never saw it.
It's you're probably not gonna like it.
Yeah.
They're all movies that are like fine.
Yes.
You know what
That
I
is
prefer?
his.
I prefer Reuben sandwiches.
Me too. Sauerkraut. I mean, it's just this is the
A little
German
bit,
stuff. I
yeah.
mean, yeah.
It's nice.
You know, just because you haven't seen these movies doesn't mean you need to weigh in with
Yes.
sandwich
No, I
conversation.
saw Gangster Squad.
did you?
I
Oh.
chose to say nothing.
Hanging me
they're
out
gonna
to
take you
dry.
next, man.
Zombieland came out before I decided I was making like a lifelong, not lifelong, but like a pledge to myself in life to remove my eyeballs from zombie-tainment for at least
Right.
5
That
years.
is
Yeah, yeah.
exactly when it did come out, and I was like, "Nope, I'm out."
Well, yeah, Zombieland 2, that coming out in general, it's just like you missed your window, man. And you're not James Cameron. You can't pull this shit.
Yeah.
Like
you mean Ruben Fleischer wasn't spending years working on new zombie camera technology?
look, we can make a better Bill Murray if we put the fucking focus on it. We really do it. But also 30 minutes or less, also fine.
Did he direct that
right.
movie?
Yes, that was
or
his-
is that a?
that was his second movie.
Oh, okay.
That was after
Do you
Zombieland.
promise?
Huh?
Do you promise? Can I? If I look this up and it's not him, you broke
I
your
promise.
Oh,
I
shit.
will promise you.
Did
Eric.
anyone did anyone play these Uncharted games?
My wife does, and I've played a few levels while she's been doing it.
Gotcha.
And I could pick out at least one. Like the opening thing is a big thing from the game.
Yeah,
the cargo boxes.
Him
yeah.
having to jump, because that's, I guess, what the big thing is really what he is he's a very good jumper.
It's this like slight. What was I calling it in my notes? Like parkour light. There's
Yes,
a lot of that.
sure.
He's jumping on things. It's not as like Assassin's Creedy, but
Yeah.
he does jump on things. I played, I think, the third one for a little bit on PlayStation. It was, fun enough.
Chris, you kept your promise. He did
I know.
direct it.
Look, I know.
30
You
minutes
live
or
to see
less.
another day, Chris Cabin.
I'll
How about that?
I'll never let you down, baby.
This is
yeah.
anyone notice that PlayStation the
Yeah.
absolute
Awful.
Yeah.
audacity to create this enormous PlayStation Studios.
well-
like we're all gonna go see God of War and Assassin's
Yes.
Creed and whatever else.
Well, they thought this would be a franchise because we have the "you ain't gonna believe this" ending to
Well,
it.
sure.
times two.
Absolutely.
And well, I mean, what else? What else could they develop?
Well, I mean,
Was the God of War is
God of
in that
War?
in that
Was there a samurai? Are they do a ghost movie?
Oh,
maybe?
Ghosts of
Oh, dude, I would watch a
Tsushima?
Yeah.
Ghosts of Tsushima fucking
Yeah.
movie, sure.
I wouldn't.
But it is you're right, Steve. It is a totally presumptuous, like, why don't we just get a little text thing that comes up and PlayStation Studios
Exactly.
Yeah,
presents?
what because I completely blank out. I forget everything about watching the Assassin's Creed movie. Was PlayStation was it a studio back then, or is this
No,
their
this
first
is,
one?
I believe
I
this
think
is the first
They'll
title.
probably reboot it now.
Probably make it more
Now
fun.
that it's back where it belongs, right,
Yeah.
folks?
But it's so funny because, like, you start with the Columbia Pictures logo, and man, you let that lady play out the
Mhm.
music,
Mhm.
classic logo.
Love that lady.
Gets right into this garbage PlayStation thing, and then
So
you
what-
have
Yeah.
Atlas Entertainment, which is another production company involved in this. Massively long introductory logo. Like,
Of course,
what are we
It's
doing?
awful. The Columbia logo is perfect. She's a sexy dame who's cousins with the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
Totally.
exactly.
The Statue of Liberty's fucking slutty cousin.
Hey, Liberty is Columbia coming out tonight? Yo,
I got a friend with me here. He needs a date.
I told him, she was a little easy peasy.
Nah, Columbia's washing her hair. She can't come out tonight.
You'll be lucky if you end up with a TriStar.
Oh my
shit,
God.
fucking a horse instead.
Of Pegasus.
Oh,
That
right.
you
Oh, pardon me.
pegged.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, getting pegged by a Pegasus.
Yeah, now
Uh,
we're talking.
It's very presumptuous. Like, here comes all of these PlayStation movies, and I no for this movie. I don't.
No?
Here's
No.
the thing. It's not that we just did Jurassic World Dominion, which I do think is one of the worst movies I've seen all year. I also just on my own extra credit watched the movie Pray for the Devil, which is one of the worst
Oh,
movies of
good
the year.
God,
Oh,
Steven.
dude.
Yeah. But what I was going to say was this movie is not good, completely forgettable.
Yep.
I barely remember what happened last night. I don't want to watch the sequel, but it's like an airplane movie, totally fine in that way. Like things happen and then it ends.
If you're only paying attention to 40% of it,
Sure.
it passes all the markers.
Sure.
But you really, if it ticks up over 45, you're in trouble, because some of this stuff is really like, we're going to get into the joke. It could be taken from any angle, really.
Sure.
But like
there are a
stuff,
couple ways to look at that joke, and we'll get to it.
stuff happens in this where you're like, if I had just happened to see that one moment,
Mhm.
I might be interested in this.
Sure. Yes.
Mhm.
And that happens, I would say, tops 8 times in this
I mean,
movie
it's-
for a 2-hour movie.
I see what you're saying with it being sort of almost quasi passable in an airplane or something. But by the time they have those fucking ships,
Yeah,
With
you're
the-
right.
with the
Yeah, you're
helicopters.
right.
Yes.
no, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and also I learned this time around because I actually I find Tom Holland okay in those Spider-Man movies. I like him in the first one,
Yeah,
and
sure.
then that's about it. Kind of like I think that first was a really good use of him and good like it's a really good script. They
Civil
have-
War. He's really
Yeah.
when he comes in for the first
But the
time.
problem was,
Oh,
I
right.
think, also is he's turning into a man boy, which is a problem
Yes. Yep.
because like
Yep.
he's a man now. He's a
Is
grown
he?
man. He's a grown man.
I thought he's a perpetual boy. Didn't Marvel like make him a eunuch to play Spider-Man forever?
That's the problem. And he's in this movie, which to my knowledge, the Nate character is just a grown
Just a
man
man.
who acts,
He's a chuck steak man.
Mark Wahlberg should be him.
which is like, but he's still doing this Jiminy Jillikers horse shit,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, that's not what this character should be, and it's way too close to Spider-Man.
so serious now.
yes. I mean,
He
he's just
is-
Michael J. Knott.
Oh, that's pretty
Jesus.
good. It's so he, oh my god, get ready to fucking commit suicide on the air, everybody.
What's this?
He was born June 1st, 1996.
Nice.
Okay.
So Tom Holland this year will be what's that, 27?
27.
Yeah,
Not doing
he
that.
acts like he's 16 and everything,
Yeah.
including this movie, which is like in the beginning they're like, "Ooh, look, he's a bartender. He's old enough to drink," and I'm like, "I know that."
But like, also, somebody remind me. Other than the Spider-Man movies and his fantastic part in Lost City of Z,
Mm-hmm.
what is he known for? Like, it's just Spider-Man,
Oh, it's just
right?
Spider-Man.
And like, that's
it's been
the
a lot of-
problem.
it's just Spider-Man. It was such a big deal that he's now a celebrity, and there's a lot of these things that he's trying to do, like that Cherry movie.
But-
Oh,
Yeah, yes. So that's a good example. Is like it is a similar situation as what we were talking about with Chris
Oh.
Pratt in Jurassic Park Dominion. Is like, I don't know if he can make the transition
Yeah,
because like
he
you
can't.
don't weave it in like you used to. DiCaprio used to have to do one serious movie,
Yes.
one kiddie movie,
Mm.
one serious movie, one kiddie movie. Now you can just do kiddie movies for as long as you fucking
He
Well,
like.
that's
has
the-
no
well-
presence. That's the problem. He, as an adult actor, he doesn't have presence.
That's true.
And I
to
think
me.
to your point, Chris, I don't think there aren't many adult movies to do anymore. That you as an actor, as a sort of a mainstream actor, are expected to be part of or lead 2 to 3 franchises. at
Yeah.
this point. You're not supposed to just have the one and then
Yeah.
like that's for them. Everything else is for me.
There's a very lucrative adult film world that you could participate.
Oh, those
in.
are franchises like Sunswap.
Here-
Yeah, Brazzers
massive
Studio
franchise.
with a Columbia lady on it.
oh, now she's definitely getting fucked.
Da, 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 da.
Here's another one though, and this is a classic case of like I didn't see it.
Mm.
Everyone who I've talked to or things I've read say it's fucking terrible. He's in that. It's a Netflix
Devil all the time.
yes, gothic drama.
I
Oh,
read the
God.
book, and the book was like a lot, but it was kind of fun a lot. And then like I've heard the movie was so terrible, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch
It's
it.
real
way
bad.
too long.
Mm.
And again, it's another one of those movies. I mean, it's funny we're talking about this because who was the last guy to do this successfully? Arpats.
Yeah,
The man himself.
Who's in Devil all the
and
time.
he is the best part of the Devil All Time. He's the best part of that other fucking Netflix, The King movie.
Oh,
He's silly
right.
as hell in
See,
that
I mean,
movie.
This is the part of the problem with his face, basically. Because
Yes.
I'm not trying to be an asshole.
No,
he's
go.
he's got a boyish quality that
Yes.
our pets can easily have grown out of, and he
Yeah.
has.
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio grew out of his boyish
and
phase.
maybe that'll happen eventually for
I
our boy
just
here.
don't
No.
I'll tell you right now what's got to start going on, and it's got to start going on if you want to be taken seriously, Tom Holland. And again, I like in the Spider-Mans, and you're fine as that stuff. But if
Don't
you want-
sound like an animated duck. I agree with that.
I mean, don't start talking like we think you talk. But how about a couple of cheeseburgers and start smoking a little bit?
Oh, there you go.
Yes,
Because
yes.
he needs to get a little rougher. He's still just
know-
too fucking pretty.
I made that joke about Michael J. Fox earlier, but that's kind of the career trajectory right there. It's he never overcame his
No.
boyish looks.
True. No, he didn't.
No, he
not.
didn't. But like, at least he played into them in a wide margin. Like he
You should
was
remake Doc Hollywood.
something
Oh,
like
shit.
anything like that. But also, I don't know. Michael J. Fox isn't just a star. He's cute.
Sure.
Tom Holland
Yes.
is not to me cute. He's more like handsome. Like
I can
guess
see
so.
him. I can see him living in TV, maybe.
yeah,
That'd
but
be
like,
something.
to a degree. But like, there was always something very comical about Michael J. Fox. It was always tinged with this thing. And like, to me, Tom Holland always comes out as way too adult for himself.
Because the thing is, I think one of his biggest drawbacks is that he he's British and he always has to play American, and his American accent is fine, but it just limits things he can do.
The other thing is he's prom king because it's Zendaya and him,
Yeah.
and they are like the
Power
couple,
yeah,
power
for
couple.
sure, yeah.
So like I don't know. Even if he had the idea to do more Lost City of Z type stuff,
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to do it because he thinks it's brand shit is going to swallow him up.
But now here's an interesting thing that I'll throw in as a wrench to this whole thing.
Just so we don't have to talk about this movie.
Yep, you got
That's
that right.
right.
You got that right. Another guy who like boyish good looks. I think he's got to be younger than Tom Holland, not by a ton of years, but a dude who I am way more hip to take seriously in a more mature role is Chalamet.
Oh yeah,
You're right.
And, like Chalamet in Dune, Chalamet in Bones and All. Like he still kind of looks like a little kid, but he
He's
doesn't.
also a better actor.
He's a much
Yes.
better. I mean,
Well,
like,
there's that,
and
yeah.
he's not to be whatever, but he's an American. So when he does an American accent, he's just doing it. I just watched Bones and All last night. I really liked it, and I was exactly thinking that because I watched Uncharted and Bones and All back to back.
Wow, that is a double feature and a
It's a
half.
long
And
night.
Love Bones and All. by
And
the way.
literally, you can swap. You could put Chalamet in any Tom Holland role, and it would be as good, if not better, depending.
Yeah.
Does not go the other way around.
No.
It
Yeah.
absolutely. He just
I'm gonna eat your finger.
or like him in Dune would be just. I
Oh.
just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Insufferable.
Ugh, exactly. That's all you can say.
Insufferable.
I mean, that's
5 stars down to 2.5.
deal with the devil, just like Pratt. You fucking started with Marvel, like. That really does, to me, it looks like it paints your worldview completely different. Like Timothy
Yeah.
Chalamet just did. I mean, he's a cute boy who was in Lady Bird, and like
Yes.
you found him in Lady Bird,
He's a
which
cute-
is a really good fucking movie.
cute boy that is like a star now.
Yes.
He's basically he's getting there.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy,
I don't know
think-
about this Wonka movie.
That
Yeah,
might be
we'll
it.
see what
Oh,
happens with
well,
that.
Because again, here's the thing: Timothy Chalamet, great example. He's an actor. He wants to do Oscar movies. You know what I mean? Bones and All. We'll see. Blah blah blah. All the stuff. Oscar bait. But he has to have at least 2 franchises going, or else they're gonna fucking take his house away.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got to be in Dune, and now he's gonna do Wonka too. Like
but-
you've got to have 2 fucking franchises going, or else we will take your fucking teeth.
he's a movie star. I think Tom Holland's future sitcom.
That would be something.
That would be nice if he just ends up being that. I mean,
Watching that motherfucker for 23 minutes a week. Yeah, I
Well,
could do that.
you can tell how little. I mean, this movie to get into the movie itself, like
Sure.
you can tell that they don't have a lot of confidence in him in his downtime because for no reason whatsoever other than to assure you that this is not the most boring film on the planet. They have to put this one of the like climactic like action scenes of the film. They front load it
Yep.
for no other, like it doesn't tie into it. When it shows up later, it's not like, and back here I am. It's you
Dude,
just
it's-
there.
I would not have blinked. I was waiting for it. I was holding my breath. I was getting my gut all tight for a freeze frame. And
Yeah.
you're probably wondering how I got here. I was like, dude, this movie is not above that.
It's a completely arbitrary starting point, Chris. It's that, and then then we're like at our completely intellectually devoid. Well, what was he like as a kid? Let's watch him. Let's have 1 to
Okay.
2 scenes of him as a little baby kid.
This is an interesting question here. Now, the flashback of him as a child. Why isn't Tom Holland also playing him as a child? What is this, like flashback for 5 years ago?
This kid that they cast to play little Tom Holland looks nothing like Tom.
No,
you
it
could have
looks-
done
no.
something.
But I mean, it's just so like, oh, you know, they're So his older brother is an asshole. Is like, let's break into a museum and we're just gonna take a map. Like, don't you know that? Yeah, the alarm's gonna go off.
This
dude.
is puzzling stuff. I don't know what the like.
Do you want to get thrown? Do you want to get thrown on the street?
Like, you gotta know, like, the library, you can't even do that. You gotta check it out first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is this is
It's
more
Magellan's fucking map, and he's
Well,
gonna
yeah.
grab it.
But like also, where are they in New York City?
No,
Like,
they're Boston.
They're
15
Boston-
years earlier.
Boston,
yes.
okay.
You can tell
so-
from Tom Holland's Boston accent.
Yeah, it's
throughout the
thick
film.
Boston. accent.
Boston, and like wherever this thing is housed, it seems like it has like until the thing goes off,
Yeah.
it must have like no actual external security.
Yes. Oh,
for
yeah.
these 2 kids to be able to do this shit.
To get in
And then
there.
all of a sudden, like, oh no, it's when you try to actually steal the thing that you would get caught. You wouldn't get caught the minute you fucking enter
Right.
the place.
But also the thing that's really confounding is like, what is the end game here? You're 2 little kid orphans.
Yes.
You're gonna steal this map and finance an expedition to find these boats that we
You're gonna
find
put
at
it
the
under
end
your
of
orphan bed,
Yeah,
dude?
it's
Like, no way.
Like, so what? Like, what are we doing here?
My hand's only got some chocolate on it. I can touch it.
I'll tell you what this means. If you were serious at that age about becoming, kids think they're going to be an astronaut, a fireman, a chef, whatever the fuck. If you want your life to be, I'm going to be in the black market
Yeah.
for my entire life.
Sure.
You try pulling shit like this just to let people know I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's just stupid as hell, and I'm probably going to go to jail. But I'm going to. That is my life.
You
That's
want a
where I'm
rap
going.
sheet early and often, is what you're saying?
Yes,
I
that's
like that.
and like a little
Wrap
bit
it
of
up.
a history.
Wrap it up
And-
wrap it up early and often. That's also true.
That's how you prevent orphans.
That's true.
Well, that's what we need. Speaking of the orphan thing, right? It's like there is some passing line about like, well, mom and dad are gone. They're not lost. They're
Yes.
gone. Blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine. I need to hear that the father and the mother were also like this adventure
Grand-
team.
yes.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
like, what? I'm sorry. Like, okay, so 15 years ago from 2022, you're telling me kids are giving a shit about exploring
Oh,
things
In
Come on.
2007?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, no, haven't you heard about their parents are famous? Ohio and Nebraska Jones.
Are there orphanages anymore?
yeah, oh yeah.
That are like this nice. I thought this was a Catholic school or something. When
No,
I,
it's a,
when
it's
I
a,
was
I think it's a Catholic-run orphanage. They're like the Blues Brothers.
but it's got a fucking nicer room than I do. The fucking I'm gonna
You're
be
gonna-
40 years old.
You're gonna have to take that up with the nun there, Eric. She's gonna be the one you want. To
These
talk to about
orphans
this.
have it so good.
Honestly, a little too good.
Eric just going around to orphans. How much you make? How much do you make?
what, sir? What? Make what? Phlegm that I cough up every day?
Do you get ads with bonobos? You tell me now.
Oh, no, me socks have holes in them.
So they're like, all right, we're going to lock this kid away for a good. Why don't you go upstairs, kid, known to be creeping out of windows, and you can just pack your stuff there. We're going to all close our eyes and cover our
Now-
ears down here.
Totally.
We're gonna go to sleep.
This brother, Sam Drake, that
Yes.
gets now expelled and goes off into the world. We all thought he was going to be Mark Wahlberg, right?
Oh yeah.
I
That's
100%.
that's what
Yep.
the twist seemed.
I
in his
was
head.
like, because
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, I was like, the math could never work out because he's
That's-
30 years
Yes,
older
of
than
course.
this kid.
but this
Yeah.
movie is dumb as dog
No, of
shit.
course. No, the math would never work out. That wouldn't stop anybody, but the
Right.
math would never work out.
I thought it until I actually got his name because I do know him as
It's a
the
game
secondary main character in the game.
The secondary main character.
The first one is Drake.
But you don't, do you
Okay.
play him, or is he more like a solid Snake? Like Snake, the boxes are gonna do
I
this
think
for you.
you can like certain levels you do switch over, but
Oh, okay.
Oh,
usually
I never got any of that.
usually what it is like if you are like in your car with a gun turret on it, like he be the driver and
Oh,
then,
that's right. I did
Stuff
play
like
that,
that.
level.
Like,
Actually,
stuff
that
like
was
that.
kind of fun as fuck.
yeah.
I need a
a
gun.
fun-
here.
it's fun.
Metal Gear Solid now. I'm a little solid snake. Call me Little Snake. I'm like a little kid.
Oh man, I'm Trouser Snake.
Watch this happen now with PlayStation Studios.
It's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and it'll
dude.
probably start Tom Holland because we got to try to make him, cool or whatever.
Yeah, I was in the Cold War. It was really fucking cold there.
Wonder why I got this eye patch.
Speaking of eye patches, and we'll get to it when we get to it, but this is a movie where the characters are fully aware of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and I couldn't
Oh.
believe it.
They're fully aware of that. When Tom Holland has the fucking stones to say to what's the lady's name?
Chloe.
Oh, the
Chloe,
yeah,
Chloe, Chloe, like,
Pirates. Yeah,
since when did you become Indiana Jones? I'm like, fuck you, don't say it.
yeah.
Just you
Yep.
know what? Because that's all I'm thinking about this entire movie anyway. And like the funny thing is, like Tomb Raider was Indiana Jones, but it's a lady who's sexy and she's British, so that's like different.
Mhm.
But it's a video game anyway. Who cares that it turned into a movie? So that it's like girl Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But similar thing here. Now it's like boy Indiana Jones
Yeah.
Young.
without a hat.
I will
is the
say
difference.
the new Tomb Raider I liked.
that was fun.
The
The last
Vikander.
Alicia
the
Vikander was not
I
Yeah.
still
bad.
gotta see that movie.
Walton Goggins is a very good villain in that. There is stuff to like, but like, yeah, in this case, it's young Indiana Jones plus Mark Wahlberg.
Yes.
Well,
like-
it's funny that you're saying young Indiana Jones because if the trivia is to be believed, Tom Holland pitched a young James Bond movie, and Sony was like SRD.
James Bond Jr.
He basically was that, and then they were like, "No, but hey, we're making the Uncharted movie."
I feel like I won something when I read that it didn't happen.
Right.
Like I don't have to be subjected to Tom Holland being like,
little Indiana Jones, a little James Bond,
Yep.
shaken not stirred, put extra milk in it. I'm just a little kid. Here's my skateboard.
But that does tell me though that he is desperate to find some way to not look like a boy.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
doing something
Yeah,
like
it's true.
young James Bond, your
Look.
aim is to be an
Dude,
action star.
Alcoholism. Right.
You really
there.
gotta.
Listen, precisely. Tom Holland, listen, man. Come to New York. Go to any deli. All you got to do is get whatever sandwich concoction they are titling a Godfather.
Yes.
You get whatever their Godfather sandwiches. You buy a pack of cigarettes. You get a 6-pack of the heaviest lager that you can find. We go back to my house. We pig the fuck out. I will age you up in 2 weeks.
Look, what you want to do here, Tom, is do everything that will kill you that doesn't involve a weapon.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
essentially what you want to get going on
And no
here.
stunts. We don't want you getting hurt.
No, of
No,
course
no,
not.
no, definitely.
But you know what? You do want that cake. Yes, you will have a drag of that cigarette.
Yeah, I mean, he's desperate to change his image, but at the same time, it's just like you're gonna be great your whole life. You
Yes.
won 10 lotteries already.
Yeah.
You know?
True.
He doesn't have to do anything else, really.
Just fuck off.
Well, that's this character. It needed a different accent and then maybe a different way of walking. And I think this is sort of like what we're talking about Chalamet, like who's just a better actor. He just felt like Spider-Man in this.
Yes.
He just feels exactly like Peter Parker. He's still all shucksy. He's sarcastic. I mean, like the parkour is different than Spider-Man just from a movement perspective, but not much.
Not
I mean,
really.
he's hanging from these crates, dude.
Exactamundo.
All you gotta do
Yeah.
is put that motherfucker in a little red and blue suit. That's a Spider-Man sequence.
Even, I mean, yeah, we're saying there's a difference between the parkour and the things, but like, even so, like the way, like the movement, the way they film his
Yes.
movements
Yeah.
are the same. So therefore, I feel like I'm watching the same movie.
I just thought of another one, and it's a total fucking like prop / like costuming mistake. So much of this movie, he's got a fucking 2-strap backpack on.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
God.
looks
Yeah.
like Peter Parker walking
Yeah.
to science school.
Yeah.
Why would you give him a 2-strap backpack? Come on.
Because I'm not. That's the thing. I am not. A part of me is pretty sure that was all on purpose, and it just fucking looks bad because like you watch it and like that's bad, but it was always like no. Oh God, the Spider-Man movies are so fucking successful.
Yeah.
Just have him do that, but with Uncharted.
Well,
And,
it's
like,
just so funny because we mentioned the box office. Like, look how
Yeah.
well that worked for you and your
It-
fucking
oh,
terrible
yeah.
bankrupt decisions.
I mean, the video game curse continues
But then
unabated.
I just saw it made $400 million.
Oh, did it?
I
Against
thought it
100
was a maybe.
That's what I looked at
well,
Wikipedia.
some
It's a 400.
bad box office.
Yes, I mean, which
Was
is-
that
So maybe it
400
is-
worldwide?
Wait, so it made a splash even bigger than when the ship falls in?
Because that was pretty big, Steve.
a big
that ship
splash.
made a big splash.
That was a very big
Big
splash.
Yeah, we age him up. Now he's a bartender.
Yep, and he's
uh,
doing Cocktail. We're just doing the Thomas.
I wanted this movie to end
Timothy
like fucking
Cruise.
Cocktail, dude. Just fucking,
yeah, totally with the Brian Brown character.
He's on, yeah. So he's on the subway. He gets to the bar. Of course, he's late, and he's already getting some heat as soon as he comes in.
Yep.
And he sees a pretty lady, and he's like, "Oh, I could get you. What can I get you?" And he asks, I forget what the first
She
one
says
is.
vodka tonic.
Vodka tonic.
Yes.
It's like, come on, something a little harder.
Challenge me.
Challenge me. And she says, "Get me a Negroni."
uh-huh.
Yep.
And the immediate reaction is him shocked looking at her, being like, and that's it. Now,
Yeah.
both me and Eric, and one other person that we will not name, have said that this is
Who are we not
I
naming?
know who the
the guy you
It was
Okay, yes.
another friend of mine.
Okay, yes,
Nobody
got it,
knows.
got it.
was that the joke of this, because it is supposed to be a joke of some sort, was that he thought she had said the N-word.
Right.
Or like a variation
That's
thereof.
something
how
to-
I read it.
That's
It
how
felt-
I read it as
felt like
well.
the movie stopped dead. It felt like it wanted to. It felt like he wanted to have that big moment of
That's-
reaction like that.
The reaction to me is what sells me that was the purpose of the joke.
As opposed to a know what? Like, I don't know what that drink is.
Yeah.
Which is
Which
the
is-
other way to do that.
That
Yes.
was how I and Chelsea actually
It's
read it last
straddling
night.
that line. It's not a good joke.
This
Because
is
here's the thing: a Negroni is not a complicated drink to make, and
it's
his
also
whole-
not an obscure drink either.
No,
No,
It's
it's
pretty
not.
popular.
And I think that's why I read it as his quote unquote joke is him pretending that he's never heard that before. But you're right, the exclamation. But here's the thing with the exclamation: he's just a boyish kid who's not as good at his acting as
Yes.
Timothy Chalamet.
Right.
So there's that.
And he's from London town. He doesn't know that word, maybe. I don't know. Actually, they do.
I-
Never mind. The football stadiums love it.
Yes, they're very fond of it. Either way, I have to say that they are at least happy that that is a possibility, because you're not. Look, a lot of people watch these movies before they get to the big screen. You're not telling me somebody was like, guys,
What's going
Yep.
on? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
do
fair.
you notice what's happening here? And they're like, oh yeah, just leave it in. Who cares? Like, like that's what I think.
joke's hilarious.
Yeah.
Maybe Mark was really
The
like gunning
screening
for
room,
it.
the screening room, like the Sony Pictures screening room, was fucking deafeningly silent, except for holy fucking shit! Did you hear that?
Hold on, I gotta call my brother Donnie. You're not gonna believe this joke I just heard in Uncharted, the movie I'm in. All of there's jokes and there's setups, and like clearly they go through comedic scenarios, but neither Mark Wahlberg nor Tom Holland, in my opinion, are particularly comedic.
I think Mark Wahlberg can be funny when he wants to, and he does have a couple of things here. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like he has not made me laugh in the past.
Sure.
Because he has.
You just answered your question.
In the past.
past.
I see what you're saying.
Like,
Yeah, uh-huh.
like, I know it's not a great movie, but like the big hit era or whatever, he had some charisma and jokes and shit.
Because he was still dumb guy. Like now he's
Yes.
aware of his people viewing him as dumb guy.
Yeah.
So he works against that.
So you think, as opposed to like when like Chris Walken realized everybody thinks he's a cartoon character and he fucking laid into it,
Yeah.
you're saying Mark Wahlberg's trying to steer the bus in a different
He
direction.
should
I mean,
lean into being a dumb guy.
A dumb
which is
guy-
what I do. I'm actually a big genius.
Yes, of
True.
course, Eric. We
That's
were
why-
all
One of the
very aware of
biggest.
that. Yes. I mean, the dumb guy thing,
Mensa. But go ahead.
I think he knows he can use that to his advantage. But like, just look at the kind of movies he's gravitated towards over the last decade. It's all been military shit, action shit.
Mhm.
Being funny is no longer an interest of him. I
Well,
think.
except those two
Daddy's
movies.
Home.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's
And
family
Oh yeah, with
shit.
Daddy,
I mean,
Daddy's Home.
Daddy's Home.
Is that what
Ted,
it's called?
I'm sorry. Wait, hang on a second. The movie Ted is not a family film.
Daddy's Home. Yeah, it's supposed to be a family film.
And what I just said, the movie Ted is not a
Not
family
Ted.
film.
I thought you said Ted.
Well, Ted is a family film now because all the kids are raised on like 30-year-old episodes of Family Guy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
That's also, I mean, and even in Daddy's Home, he's like the straight guy. Like
Yeah.
the whole point is that he is
Uh-huh.
badass. Like it's not like
Did
he's
he have-
funny.
I mean, I think this was probably more than 10 years ago at this point, so it is outside the bounds of what we're talking about. But what was that?
Fear.
Yeah, real
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh no, what was it called? The Other Guys with him and Will Ferrell.
Yes, that
That
also-
Right.
might be literally 2010, I think.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
2000.
It's a while
Okay.
ago.
Yeah.
That
But-
was a while ago.
Anyway,
So whatever, he winds up. We find out that he's like a pickpocket at his own bar, which is a terrible thing to be.
dude,
Yes.
you're shitting where you eat.
Exactly. Like you want to do that in the street, but he like steals this bracelet from this girl, and he goes in, and here comes Mark Wahlberg, and hey man, we're closed. I got a special mission for you, kid. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, this is a special mission. You want to come on it with me?
Imagine you are this great adventurer thief, and like
Sure.
you just see some fucking idiot like pick a fucking necklace off some non-supposed. Oh, I have to have this guy, bro. He's just, it's fucking, it's like watching Houdini, bro.
No,
I mean-
but it's about the postcards. He's got them.
He's got
He's got the postcards.
I know all about his correspondence.
That's right. He wasn't just watching boys in a bar.
No, he
He
wouldn't
was a
just be doing that.
special boy.
But we
Special
have to
point.
have the thing where, like, that Mark Wahlberg is also like from that world, because he's like, "Hey, bro, that was a pretty nice lift you had there." Blah blah blah.
Do you know what a lift is? I just found out.
I just called one home.
Yeah, there's a pretty good lifts there. You look like you're almost 5'7". Nice.
I took one home and I managed to not punch the driver in the face till death.
Did you wear those doing Spider-Man? Oh, sorry, Ruben, I forgot. Just problems. We were just hashing it out in here.
He's like 4'8", right?
Tom Holland, yes.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg, too.
Yeah.
They are not too. And I mean, they actually sort of like make that joke at one point, like Tom Holland being like, "What do you call me short for? You're like an inch taller than
When
I
they kept
am."
on talking about like the keyholes and stuff, like, dude, just walk through it, man.
Alice,
Aren't
come on.
you Ant-Man or whatever? Come on.
Get into Uncharted, Quantumania.
Oh, hey, bro, I'm getting small as fuck.
Michelle Pfeiffer, where are you?
Oh, hey, baby, I'll follow you into the quantum realm.
Yo, Tom, did you play Batman? I can't keep up, bro.
This is
There's
like-
so many of these movies.
This is my new girlfriend. It's a dust mite.
Kang the what?
I love Batman, bro. I love him so much. You know, I wanted to be the Penguin once. I gained all the weight, and then I ended up having to play a fucking priest.
Oh, man. We gained all this weight to play Oswald Cobblepot, and I got shafted on the casting and made Father's
Father Stew. Now, I didn't see this. Chris, you probably saw this. Is it funny?
It is.
Does he do comedy?
I remember Chris Cabin called me in the middle of the night. He was like, Andrew,
Yes.
I'm really sweating. And I was like, what's going on, dude? You can call me at all hours. Well, how can I help you?
Okay.
And you were like, I'm putting together my best of the year list.
Yep.
And I'm really trying to figure out if I can make Father Stew place on there somehow. That's how much you loved the movie.
It was at 11 for
Right,
a while.
yeah,
and
yeah.
it just
Really?
batting against the 10. You
Yeah,
know, it was
it's
that
hilarious.
versus both sides of the blade. And it was just dead heat for a while there. No, it is an atrocity. I mean, it's
So
watching.
not funny.
I mean, Mel Gibson plus Mark Wahlberg. I mean, it's
Yeah.
almost
Didn't that
exactly.
already happen already?
That's
He's-
Daddy's
they're-
home.
They're Catholic buddies, dude.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah, yeah.
fucking sipping the communion wine.
I forgot
Yep.
they
Oh,
did
yeah.
that. It's like mixing the two liquids from Die Hard 3.
Oh, by the way,
you
listen,
know it's going to
Corn
work.
syrup.
folks at home, we're talking about Catholic actors here now, so I want to mention that
Yes.
we don't support the Catholic Church.
We're
Quickly-
not into. We're
quickly,
not.
man. These are probably
on them.
They're probably evil, wicked men. I mean, we know Mel Gibson is. but-
Oh well,
sure.
yes. I mean,
Yeah.
Mel Gibson is the Lord of Darkness.
Can't
Yes.
believe Pope Benedict's gone, bro.
Oh, man, he was the best one because he was the one that was saying it. You know what I mean? He was saying it.
Yeah, he was one of those good guys from Germany.
So Pope Benedict, I forget, he died last year, a week or so ago. Someone lifted him up and threw him down the turbo shaft. Is that, and the
That's
right.
lightning is shooting out?
That's how it goes.
That's right.
This happens with every pope.
Somehow, Pope Benedict has returned.
Oh, my
He
God.
will, dude.
Yeah.
But so he's like, "Yo, bro, Globetrotting Adventure. It's a new franchise I'm doing. You want to do it with me?"
and by the way, you won't have to be a bartender anymore, and you're a fucking moron. It's a Negroni. Everybody knows it.
Now,
You're
Tom.
dumb as shit.
Now, Tom, you've got to trust me. I'm in so many franchises. I'm in Ted. Just Ted.
No, he's the fucking Transformers, dude. You'll
Oh,
never always
yeah.
forget he was.
Shit.
I may or may not have been the last night. I forgot how that movie went.
Look, that's Optimus's franchise.
Yeah.
Don't be playing with me.
Mark Wahlberg, stop taking credit for my franchise.
Michael, why do I not have top billing?
Dude, there's other places that we will discuss it, but I saw the trailer for that fucking animal transformer thing.
Yes.
Good gravy. Get your fucking January calendar, Mark.
It has to be a state
Holy
tuned,
shit.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So do you think when Mark Wahlberg was in last night, he was talking to Optimus Prime saying, I thought this was a vehicle for me, but now there's a vehicle in it?
It's another vehicle. You made a vehicle the star of your movie, Michael. Where's Shia?
So Tom Holland steals a doorman's key and breaks into Mark Wahlberg's apartment.
Sure.
And Mark Wahlberg has this Magellan map that the kids tried to steal back in Boston. Do you think that's why it was set there? Because it's like Mark Wahlberg now owns the map. So he's like, yeah, I got it. I grew up across the street from that map.
Look, I just happened to be reading the Wikipedia article for Magellan last night. So it's going to be Magellan, okay? Because that's like, whenever they're going through, like, there's huge parts of this are just Tom Holland and be like, did you know that Magellan did this, but it actually was this guy?
could
And
give a
who gives
fuck?
a shit? And this is a history lesson now?
Dude, speaking of the H word right there, Chelsea called this. We were watching it. Fucking great. He has a Biff Tannen line in this movie because when he says Tom Holland reels off whatever like Magellan fact. Oh, Magellan actually didn't circumnavigate the globe. He got stopped here. Blah
was
blah
the
blah
guy.
blah. And it's Biff Tannen in Back to the Future 2, alternate 1985. You know your history. Very good. It's incredible.
It is very much like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer becomes obsessed with Edison and all he wants to do is talk about Edison. This movie has Magellan fever and count me out.
No.
Oh my God! Please count me out. Absolutely.
Just make it up. Like I at this point, like you don't have to get, like, I guess we're still stuck with the idea that like movies have to teach you a lesson or you have to learn something from
Sure.
movies in some backwards way. But like, why not just make up a whole different fucking Explorer and actually have that like work with your movie?
Yep.
What the fuck is it with you having the real world?
Francisco da Gama, Vasco da Gama's cousin. He was the best one. You never heard of him. And then you can do whatever you
Precisely.
want.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Then it doesn't matter. And like, and when you take, it's interesting because when you remove real names from things, that is carte blanche for more fantasy, and
Sure.
it sets it in an even faker world. So I'm not thinking about a real life explorer. I don't care about.
Exactly, and someone who spends all of their day shitting blood and vomiting blood
talking
out of
about
their vomiting blood out of their mouth
Yeah.
while screaming because they got the history wrong in a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Like those people will shut the fuck up forever because
Mhm.
they have no place.
So in a great time killing thing, because stunningly, and it's a real bad sign when a movie like this is under 2 hours. I have to say, these days,
Which thank God.
I mean, thank God. But these days, as far as like what the movie is, the shorter the runtime and the bigger the scope of the film, the worse the movie is going to be. I
Yes.
feel that's like what the chart is here.
Yeah.
So we are killing some time. We're in the apartment, and he's like, "Go on the mission with me." And Tom Holland is like, "No, I won't." He goes home. He looks at a postcard, and then he's like, "Yes, I will."
Yeah.
Why
Yes, I
could we
will.
not just agree to all this? In
But
the
I
one
need
scene?
a suit, a cat, and this, that, and the other thing. And he agrees. And then, if you're making a movie to try to break away from Spider-Man and become more of a man actor,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
will,
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't have a scene where Mark Wahlberg has to teach you how to tie a tie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean,
Because you're a baby then.
You're totally
Yeah.
right, Eric. Like that is stuff that is just infantilizes this kid
Yeah.
to the point where it's like, yeah, he's just a little boy Spider-Man talking to Mr. Stark again.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
like, I don't want to watch that again.
Well,
I've
Because
seen
at
that
least the Mr. Stark at the time was RDJ and not
Yeah.
Sully Mark
Yeah,
Wahlberg.
Mr.
Mark
Chart.
Wahlberger.
That's Mr. Stark, and now he's Mr. Chart.
The chart.
Mr. Chart.
No, yeah, it's literally like
Yeah, Greg Chart, how you doing?
Greg Chart, who would be like the alternative to Marissa Tomei. Like literally, if Spider-Man had a dad instead of a mom figure
Yeah.
in the house, that's exactly what this is essentially.
Yeah.
Drives me fucking nuts.
We do a lot of him with his shirt off, doing a lot of like push-ups and stuff.
Uh-huh.
That's
Oh, yeah.
all the
He's really good.
Zendayas in the audience getting excited. All the Zendayas
And the Zengayas, too, dude. Seriously. So we have a thing which is... and Chris Cabin, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there is like stealing shit, heist stuff in at least one of the games.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
So
and
slinking
stuff.
around.
the cat too, right? Is canonical to the game.
The cat
right?
is also
Mr. Whiskers
canonical.
is indeed
yes,
canonical,
He's
yes.
there.
That's a funny little line where he's like, "What'd you need the cat for?" He's like, "I don't know. He had a sad life. Here's a cat."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Because it is a nice punching down on a Mark Wahlberg character,
Yes.
which is what you want. So the whole thing is, the legend pre-told that you need these 2 keys to do something. Mark Wahlberg says he has the 1 key. We got to break into this auction house to get the other key. And thank goodness gracious, great gobs of fire, the auction is happening on a night that is indeed tonight.
Yes.
and he's already planned on how to take out the power at just the right moment.
Well,
There's
yeah.
there's a montage. And I
Montage.
think that's where
Yes.
the exercise
Yes.
is happening. It's like he's got to because Mark Wahlberg's like, I'm gonna do my thing and steal the key after you cut the power. And he's like, how do I cut the power? Well, you got to bring something to the table, bro. This is your part of the movie. So it's a montage of him like exercising and like looking at plans or whatever. I did not get a chance to do a Shazam on this, but like whatever this fart rock tune he's
Sure.
montaging to here, good Christ, it's terrible.
It's all subjet. That's
Yes.
what you're usually getting with these. Yeah, he has he does hardcore exercising. He climbs a rope in his
Mhm.
apartment.
Uh-huh.
He does some pull-ups. He's doing really good there.
More than I'm doing, dude.
It's much more than I'm ever going to do. And then all leading up to what I would argue is a sub Hudson Hawk auction scene.
Yes.
As far as the action scenes in auction houses go, this
Okay.
does not even add up to a Hudson Hawk level fucking masterclass. That fucker
It doesn't
is.
even add up to a North by Northwest disturbance at an auction.
No, sir.
and we're introduced to villain of the movie, you think, Antonio Banderas slumming it in this
Oh,
one,
man.
boys.
God damn.
Before we
Poor
had
man.
before this we even get to see the man, there's a very long, I think it's Mark Wahlberg who's like, yo, bro, here's a magazine about our villains.
Yes,
and
yeah.
here's a picture of our villains.
And then he turns to the camera and he looks out and he's like, and for you in the audience, the ushers are going to be coming down right now to pass off pamphlets about him.
It's the House of Maldonado, bro.
Has Antonio hasn't had a Taken yet, has he?
No.
He should.
He might, one of those VODs he's been doing might
I
be
mean,
Oh
that.
man, is he slinking into
Oh, yeah.
that?
I didn't know that.
Oh.
I thought he was just Pussy Boots.
No, there's a bunch of VOD shit with him.
Well, because
Like, a
he was
lot.
just incredible in the Almodovar movie.
Yeah,
What was that, like 2
very
years
good.
ago?
Yeah.
Did he play a
Pain and
cat
Glory.
in that, or
Did he play a cat? No, I don't.
No.
He played a director with back problems.
only play cats now?
You know me, always in it for the pussy.
Come on, Ruben, have me swashbuckle.
I haven't seen it yet, but I assure you that Puss in Boots 2, The Magical Secret Kiss, or whatever it is
Yeah.
called,
Yeah.
better than this movie.
Has to be.
It is.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's got
You
it.
saw it?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I get like whenever the one like all the screeners are digital now, so they put like all of them under one rubric. So I just had like I forget what I think it was DreamWorks and
Yeah,
somebody
DreamWorks,
else.
Yeah.
But whatever the 4 was, I just had them, and I was
I just
like,
want to know
fuck,
what
I'll-
makes
I'll-
you tick, you know? Just waking up
Well,
one day and
Eric-
throwing on Puss
Eric,
in Boots.
This is gonna. We do a bad movie show, and occasionally I
yeah.
watch movies that I know are going to be bad.
Oh, that's
Okay,
true.
that's
That
good.
might just,
Well,
there might be a correlation there. I don't know.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your popcorn.
But he goes up to Tom Holland like, "Hello, I am the villain of the movie. You are the good guy. How's it going?"
There's something about, and again, it's like if the trivia is to be believed, what was it like? They realized that Tom Holland and Antonio Banderas never had a scene together
Yes.
in the movies, and then they
Nice.
like did this thing.
Which
Well,
does-
what do you think about being a world-class villain?
Are you the only real evil?
Yes, I am.
Well, it's funny because he goes to the bar. And he's like,
Can I have a martini?
Of
And
course,
it's
he
like-
wants a martini.
and it's like, oh yeah, I know.
I need to get drunk before I do my job.
That's what I do.
Oh, there.
And is your father, mother with you? An adult?
Scrooge? Is Scrooge here?
By the way, at very least, need to see some ID.
Oh,
Come
yeah, you
on,
get
let's
carded.
add some realism here.
Totally.
It would also introduce the other lady who's from Sabrina the Teenage, this dark
Joe.
Sabrina show.
Joe something or other. Yes, is on that Sabrina,
The
whatever the
Netflix
Netflix
witch?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Tati Gabriel is her name, playing Joe Braddock. Joe Braddock.
I will
Yeah.
say she makes a bigger impression than Chloe does.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
other lead.
Chloe,
But they're-
played by Sophia Ali.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they're nice people.
I'm
Sure,
that's what I'll say.
Sophia Ali all over that Grey's Anatomy. That's one of
It's just but I mean, like this character needs something else,
Yes.
which is to say something, because
Yes.
she's just she's just like the bad guy. She used to be in it with Mark Wahlberg. She's more of a mercenary type. She seems like the heavy, and it's like, oh, and then spoiler alert, she winds up becoming the main villain of the movie. She needs something else, like
Yes.
whether
Yes.
if it's
What does she want? Does she want anything?
exactly, that'd be kind of
Thank
cool.
you.
Yeah.
What is the motivation? What is the? I mean, I know it's gold. Someone's
Gold.
But dude, yeah, no, exactly. They're just the Ray Winstonian quest for gold.
Yeah.
I was lying about being in Jabu.
That's what this whole movie is.
It is, and that's Mark Wahlberg is playing a swelter Ray Winstone from Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, totally. But you're completely right. You have no idea what it is outside of just like greed and money. But here's the thing, like, fuck those people and fuck those characters
Yeah.
and fuck anyone who desires to become an oligarch, you piece of fucking shit. Like,
Shit,
sure.
damn man, that's what I wanted to be.
Well, sure, but like I also just like it's fine again. Like if it's just that shit, then yeah, I do. I'm like exactly that's the problem with the movies. I'm like, well, I don't care about this character at all.
Yeah.
If that's just the thing, and like even having like a sick sister or something, man.
Yeah,
Like any bullshit just to pass us through this.
funding research for an incurable disease.
There we
Or she,
go.
her family was a rival to Antonio Banderas
Yeah, sure.
1,000
Oh, yes.
years ago.
Yep.
Anything.
She
That
was a
act-
Medici.
That honestly makes the most sense.
Yeah.
And if the character had like professed something like that, you would be like, oh,
Okay.
yep, perfect.
Because
Perfect motivation.
in the middle of the movie, she kills Antonio Banderas, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's all I had.
Dude, he gets his throat cut. Most pathetic throat cut I've seen in a movie.
yeah,
I paused it and I was like, oh, oh, the movie's not over, and
No,
now he's
no.
just out of it.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
No.
Because he's in like 3.5 scenes. He's got
This
the Tom
auction
Holland scene,
scene.
yes, and then like he's like, I want to buy that cross because that will get me my family's fortune back.
The speech he makes right before he dies is kind of like the best part of the movie.
Yes.
Yep.
Because he's got actual like passion in it. And
Yeah.
he's like, I could actually, this is a character. I'm going to try to make it.
And then the movie makes a joke out of silencing that character
Of course.
because he's killed like mid-speech. Like, no. Hey, you do some good acting in this
Wait.
movie. You're getting your throat cut.
The movie's got to keep moving, Mr. Banderas.
All
We're
right, Mr.
slowing down.
Mr. Talky Talk, we need a cartoon character get hit by a car. That's gonna happen.
There is kind of a funny thing here where so like the number 2 to this Joe character is this big gruff Scotsman.
Oh, God.
And it's just like this guy is just the most like nothing heavy character, but I do appreciate when he's going after Tom Holland and he's really just got a thick as you
Yeah.
can get brogue going. And the joke is Tom Holland can't understand what he's saying.
Yes.
And the guy's like being very threatening and he's like, I'm telling you, I can't understand a word that is coming
Yeah.
out. It's pretty funny.
What did you say? What did you say to me?
And like, you
I
know,
didn't hear that on TikTok. I don't know what you're talking about.
He gets the shit kicked out of him, and like,
And then
it's
he's like running from these guards and then dangling from the ceiling, kind of a Spider-Man kind of
a
move. if
little
you ask
Spi-
me.
exactly.
Spider-Man-y.
It's all Spider-Man-ish.
and this
Yeah.
stuff is like it's totally fine, but I didn't like I don't know. Like I didn't sign on for a heist movie, so I'm like I don't know. The trailer showed me like tropic locations and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like when are we getting to any of that?
Well, no, we got to get through this stupid shit first. Like one of the dumbest, like, how does this even? I mean, it's Uncharted, so who cares? But Mark Wahlberg is trying to outbid Antonio Banderas for
Yes.
the cross because he's delaying the shit for the.
Jacket.
No.
That's actually really kind of a big problem with this movie. Is the mechanics of the heist stuff is dumb. It's
Yeah.
like
Yes.
not well thought out. Not like you know what I mean? Like it's like you're gonna shut the power off and I'm gonna flip my jacket inside out. I'm like, well, that's not like exciting or intriguing. Like cool heist shit is like inventing a security system and then defeating it with
Yeah.
a very specific way. And
Problem solving. Like
Yes.
actual problem solving rather than being like, hey, it'll all turn out.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Why
It's
don't you
fine.
go over there, yell fire, and I'll grab
The
it.
movie
and
It's
run away.
fine.
thinks it can surf by on charm.
It
but
does.
but it doesn't
Thank you.
have
You're totally right.
the juice. For
I
it.
completely agree with you guys on all of that. But the other thing that and it kind of is the same thing that happens in last week's Jurassic World Dominion, is that there are so few legitimate, what am I trying to say? Like unexpected obstructions.
Yeah.
Right. So like in this scene, it doesn't go exactly the way he doesn't cut the power. Right.
Yeah.
So he's got to jump on the light fixtures and blah, blah, blah. And like it almost goes tits up and then they right the ship. The rest of this movie is just like, we got to find this. Oh, I found it.
Yeah.
Well, what
Yeah.
does that thing say? Well, I turned it this way. There's no point where they're ever like confused, confounded, have to turn around, need help from someone else. It's boom to boom. Like you are indeed playing the video game,
Yeah.
but maybe not your first playthrough of the video game. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Well, because the first time out, you don't know to jump on the chandeliers and do the jump between them to get away from the Scottish man. Like that's the and like that to me is like so like I know it's funny, but like I was also like oh my god, the thing that's stopping him, he's Scottish and he doesn't know what he's saying.
Well,
Like
it's
there's
not-
no subtitles on this copy of Train Spotting.
There is. It is a bit of the Marvel glibness has dripped into this too, where we're not taking anything to your point. Like that's it. That's where the charm would be, but it's just
Yeah.
sort of like we're too cool for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
I think the movie's always just thinking we're going to win you over with the next big movement,
Right,
Because
And
it's-
but then you never pay attention enough to each one of them that some of all parts just doesn't work.
It's
Yeah.
two versions of that, like butting up against each other. It's the Marvel charm sale with the Mark Wahlberg as star charm
Yeah.
sale hitting each other and creating absolute because Mark Wahlberg's whole thing is like masculine shit, and like what would be good and funny here is if you were stupid and fucked up a lot,
Yeah.
which is not like traditionally masculine. Like
Yeah.
that's more of a Mission Impossible thing. Like technology will fail you.
Yeah.
People might
Yeah.
not. Like that's a difference that you could play with, but they're just like, no, fuck it. We just got to get to the next scene.
It
Which we
is
do.
also, I mean, we do get the next scene, but it is fascinating that I mean, because like obviously Tom Holland, he's playing the main character of the game. He's the star of the film. It is, it's not unheard of to see Mark Wahlberg riding alongside someone else, but it's also just weird the amount of times in this movie Mark Wahlberg just vanishes for minutes on end. And the whole shit like in the sewer where, and we'll get to that, but like where the movie just leaves him out of it and he's either on a radio or not. He literally parachutes out of the movie at one point.
And then he comes back. I'm like, where was he for an hour?
Like the movie like fundamentally does not give a shit about what that character is doing at any point, because you're looking at Tommy Tom, which is fine, but like it's Mark Wahlberg. You're used to seeing him have at least some business being in a movie.
I think the problem there was he probably thought he was signing up for Call of Duty, and he was just like, "Oh, bro, okay, I guess I have to be the old guy then."
Oh shit, getting my games mixed up, bro.
Fuck. All right, so is it going to be a problem that I'm not Italian? I can't jump that high either.
Oh no, we hired Chris Pratt to be Super Mario. We're fine.
Say what? Oh man!
All right. So when do I learn how to do the Hadouken? How do I do? Is it? Are you going to put a fire? Are you going to put a tube up my shirt?
How do I do the Hadouken?
Now, bro, you got to tell me something. Do I have to gain weight again to play Kirby?
All right, shit. Let me ask you this: is the adaptation gonna have the guts to have our characters doing animalities?
Because that's what I signed up for, bro. I wanted to turn into a tiger.
Look, I'll do it. But if it's the swimming level from the first one, I'm not being the Ninja Turtle getting electrocuted by the seaweed.
Actually, you know what? They should get Wahlberg to be Luigi.
Oh.
Don't even try to even come close to it. If you've got Pratt as Mario, go with the most non-Italian voice you got.
They're doing Charlie Day as Luigi.
Also not Italian.
I know.
I don't like this.
So they wind up like they now have the cross, so they have to go to Italy or no? Is this Spain, Madrid?
Yes,
Barcelona.
Barcelona. That's what I
Close
forgot.
enough.
I don't remember. This movie just washed over me in an awesome way.
It is bad.
Speaking of flying to Barcelona, just really quickly, this movie can fucking flush itself down the toilet again because we are doing the Indiana Jones map with the plane.
Of course we
Man,
are.
fucking
Dude, that's called a homage.
Oh.
It's called stealing.
Yeah, bro. Yo, bro, we're going to do a homage. You ready for it?
Yeah. Mr. Chot, I homaged the bracelet off that lady.
Wow, I did a homage of a movie that came out way before I was born. Can you imagine it? I'm so small and young. You're welcome for your homage.
I just can't with this fucking kid. But so we meet Chloe, who is another operative working with Sully vaguely.
Sully definitely dated and probably fucked Joe, but we're not sure about Chloe.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, they definitely very clearly fuck him and Joe.
Him and Joe have fucked. I think Wahlberg's character fucked Chloe's sister. That was it.
Okay, that makes sense.
I got your sister, but I never got my hands on you, Sully.
So this ends up just being such fucking dog shit, right? Because she's got the other cross that they need to use as keys to unlock secret cabinets, or I don't know.
She steals the two keys at one point. There's a big rooftop chase and
The
whatnot.
the rooftop chase. That's what I'm getting at. Is because it's like this happens a lot in movies where it's like you meet someone that's going to be your ally, but they're not. We're gonna have to fight each other, and then guess what? At the conclusion of the battle, we're working together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got to work it out. Got to work out through fight.
I hate it.
This movie actually is even worse with that because it keeps happening. Like,
Yes.
she double crosses him no less than 3 times in the movie.
Well, she was just lying about being a Jabu.
And it's just like, could we commit to something, please?
To
Like,
what effect? Like your goal in this is to get like $7 billion.
Yes.
Does it matter if you have to split it a
3
little
way?
bit?
Yeah. What is the difference? Guess what? There's no material difference between 7 billion and 2 billion, or
And
even
that's-
1
no.
billion.
It's all horse shit. Like at the beginning, then when he's like, well, Mr. Shart, I thought we're going to do this 50-50, right? And Wahlberg's like, 50-50? What are you fucking kidding me? And I'm like,
Who cares?
What does it fucking matter?
3.5.
dude?
What are
Yeah.
you going to? Are you trying to buy Twitter? Like what do you need
$1
all
billion
these billions for?
You'll never have to do literally anything again your whole life, and neither will your descendants.
Yes.
Yep.
And your descendants.
And somehow that's just not good enough.
not
I
enough.
just don't.
Oh shit! Interesting tweet. Interesting.
Wow. We'll have to look into it.
Well, we're starting Twitter blue.
Bro.
Twitter green because it's Boston.
Yeah.
Which Twitter will only take place in Boston.
Bro, you can have a Twitter green, a Twitter white, or a Twitter orange. You can just do whatever you like.
And the Twitter white, it's so great because instead of a little blue check mark, it's a little white communion wafer. You have to prove Catholic allegiance before being verified on Twitter white.
Twitter White's also where you get the race science, bro. Phrenology links.
Now, but make sure to look at my beautiful Christian yoga site.
Oh yeah, dude, the meditation.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's what his app was, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, you could pay, dude. Pay to pray. It's awesome.
Dude, I mean, it is a truly offensive scam, especially because you're preying on Catholics.
Oh,
They're paying to pray anyway.
Oh shit, bro! I reinvented indulgences.
Oh, is praying not working for you? Try meditation.
Uh-huh.
The other thing.
Yeah, you didn't pay enough for that prayer. For God will hear if you give me 20 $20.
Oh man.
But it's great. So they have a big stupid chase. Then they're like, all right, let's plan the big thing tomorrow when we go to the museum or the church. And I mean like just having to do anything the next day, but getting smashed on red wine the night before.
Oof.
Nothing's happening.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't see them eating. I don't see crudités. They're just going through bottles of red wine.
Mhm.
It's
The
and I don't understand.
tannins will fucking put you down.
It's insane. And there's a weird thing like right at the start of it where Nate, I don't
Yeah.
even think we've said it, Nate Drake is Tom Holland's character's name. He's just chugging this shit.
Yes.
And my whole thing is like, what is the motivation for this chug? Is he stressed out about the brother? Is he trying to loosen up around the girl?
Yeah.
Like they don't really
Dealer's
explain
choice.
to you while he's yeah. I mean, it's just and you have oh man, do you ever have the Sully character being like, whoa, bro, you might want to slow down on that because it's a vintage and I was like, I don't think so.
No,
Let's
sir.
start.
No, thank you.
Oh, dude, I would more believe Mark Wahlberg playing a character explaining brain surgery to me than I would wine.
What? I don't even know what booze is, bro. What are you talking?
Whoa. Wine? Bro, that's like what? Gay beer?
Disgusting.
Dude, why are you drinking all that gay beer for?
Why don't you just get the straight beer? I love straight beer.
Just we're stopping this movie dead to just pound some vino, dude. All right.
I at least I can imagine Tom Holland and Chloe being able to get over this the next day. The idea of Mark Wahlberg seeing sunlight
Oh, dude,
after
yeah.
a night like this
Oh,
and
no.
not going vampire and just bursting into flames
Yep.
is insane to me.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he shouldn't be able to do anything.
They show like no fewer than 5 bottles of wine consumed between the three of them. That's it.
it's really
Mark
I don't see-
Wahlberg ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, you got to go to the Barcelona shop and get whatever they call vitamin water over there, man.
totally.
The weirdest part, too,
Vitamo.
which is sort of something like, again, if you want to do a movie that is not Spider-Man, right?
Yep.
Not for babe, not for that. Look, for general audience, but specifically not in the Disney. You're out of the mouse's house, dude.
You just want to escape that mold.
Why isn't he fucking Chloe ever? Why don't
Yep.
they like? There's like 3 to 4 times.
Oh, because it's a movie, and we don't do that in movies
It's
anymore.
just
Yeah.
Good
crazy
point.
they don't, because like that would also add to the
Oh.
complication of how many times, like maybe not in this scene because they're just getting to know each other, but later
Yeah.
when he's doing all that
But
stuff
they're,
with
they're sharing a bed.
they're sharing the bed and they don't.
that was something.
Steven.
but they're doing shifts in the bed.
exactly like
Steven, you're disgusting. You don't think that a man and a woman could just be friends after daring
true.
adventures do?
well, they aren't mommies or daddies, so
That's a problem.
yeah. So they
Yes,
don't
that's
they didn't get
true.
married in a Mark Wahlberg sanctioned church, so therefore they can't fuck.
I
It's
just-
just totally nuts.
It
I mean,
is
your
crazy.
hetero obsessiveness is just too much for me, Steven. I'm going to be out of here now.
You should. It's so like, you know what I mean? Like it's, if you're trying to make this brand new, and I'm sure whatever this character in the video game is like, hey, I'm bedded sexy ladies.
Yeah.
And again, he doesn't have to be a fucking man whore, but like they have a relationship. It would progress the movie in an interesting way if they had any stakes
And
in
look,
terms of fucking.
They're
Yes.
both 18.
Yeah,
Like, just fucking have sex, you idiots.
I mean, yeah, there was another something about the lack
Remember to
of,
wrap it up. Kids.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. If
Mr. Stark, she took her shirt off. What do I do?
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
but like
Can I get an Iron Man suit here to put clothes on her?
this girl's just like, why are you talking into your watch? Oh, wrong movie.
I'm just going to run away. That's the best idea.
I'm trying to make a metal suit slap to your body so we wouldn't have to see each other.
But it's I just remember where I was going with this is that, you know, he's a character who's like, I'm not sure if my brother's dead or alive or what's going on with this mission. It's so crazy. You know, darings do, like you said, Chris, we just had this crazy adventure today in Barcelona and going through all these things and whatever. Like, I just need to feel something. You know what I mean?
Well, is it because, like,
I can only have sex. I can only have sex when I know that Sam's alive. Then I'll be able to
Maybe.
bone you.
Maybe that's the
Maybe
promise
that's
he
it.
made to his
Because that was
brother.
the thing in the first scene with him flirting with the girl. I'm like, oh wow, it's like a movie where a man might flirt with a woman or a woman
Yeah.
might flirt
Yeah.
with a man.
He's goofy and, you know, we're 50-50 on if there was a potential N-word joke going on. Sure. But
yes.
you're right. He's flipping stuff behind a bar.
Yeah.
He's trying to
He
chat
wants
up
to
a
fuck
girl.
this lady, and that's okay in this world. Is for two people
Yeah.
who are of age that want to fuck.
He needs to go into the indie world and do something.
Yeah,
And when he goes to the Indian world,
Indy was fucking
avoid.
getting wet.
Well, not Indiana Jones, but yeah, indie movies.
I was gonna say he just has to avoid the fucking Russo brothers because that pseudo
Yeah.
indie.
Oh, God.
Well, that's the
Area.
thing. Is like I don't, not indie by aesthetic.
Exactly,
just
like a real movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
exactly
by
an
production
Tom-
cost.
actual movie.
Tom Holland in an Andrew Bujalski picture. Sure. Get it.
Yes.
Let's get it going.
Honestly,
Let's have it
sure.
do it.
Whatever. So like then they're in the church. It's very similar to Last Crusade.
They make well, it's not a joke in Last Crusade. It's a Raiders joke, but it happens here when
Yeah.
he's like,
Nuns. Why is it always nuns?
Yeah,
Yes.
That's, you can't do that and say Indiana Jones in the
Yep.
same movie.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's from Raiders.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
snakes.
Why
Oh,
is it
always snakes?
It's
Oh,
in the
nuns.
opening.
The nuns. Why does it always have to be nuns? That was a famous line from Bad Lieutenant.
excellent. You set me right up for that.
Oh, they're actually
Bowling
making.
pins.
They're making. They're making a remake of Bad Lieutenant with. This is probably the indie movie that you guys
Oh,
wanted
Tom
to do.
Holland,
With
okay.
Tom Holland's called Baby Lieutenant.
The fucking Mets let me down again.
He's assigned to the case of Baby Driver, and he has to pull over the Baby Driver.
Dude,
Fucking Mets. It's
Yeah,
always the fucking
no,
Mets.
it's the fucking Little League he kills himself for in this one.
It's Baby Lieutenant. It's adorable.
oh, baby lieutenant. It's a whole different
like
kind
it.
of dance.
The dick is small on purpose.
We can't forget, in the middle of all this, just action-packed shit and
Oh yeah.
sexy
Globe-trotting.
international,
Ooh.
whatever. Also in Spain is the Moncada Foundation headquarters, where there is a subplot that takes 2 seconds to get through. And I'll tell you right now, Antonio Banderas, rich family, not as rich as they could have been if you to believe history or
Sure.
whatever. His old man has decided that he wants to give away all the money from the company, and you can't take it with you. So
Yes.
yada yada. Antonio Banderas pissed off about that, and then he murders his father, or has Joe murder his father
Yes,
in a car.
yes. Right.
End of that plot.
Who cares?
Phenomenal. But that's the movie I was more interested in because apparently this fucking family is bankrolling Franco.
Yeah.
They were bankrolling.
Yeah,
Like,
those
what the
fascists and
fuck? I was
stuff.
like,
Yeah, that
what the
was
fuck?
Yeah,
Are you
it's a real
serious?
dropped line.
It's kind of a funny thing because I looked up the actor who plays this dad, just like this nothing role, and he's a fellow who has done like a ton of TV in Spain and stuff, and just
Yeah.
like has been working for a really long time, like in the business over there. And I just felt so bad for him because you got to figure he's like, cool, I'm in this Mark Wahlberg movie, like a big
Yeah,
Hollywood. Oh, what is it? Oh,
I'm dead already.
I'm
Two
working
scenes.
with legendary Spanish actor Antonio Banderas. Like, come on.
Can you?
Yeah.
Hey, Antonio. Yeah, it's fantastic. You're unbelievable work. Could you get Almodovar to do anything for me? Like literally,
Totally.
even
I
if
could be
he
the
has some
waiter.
banking information that I could, I know the Panama Papers have been a while now.
So now they have two crosses. They have to go in two different directions. Mark Wahlberg is going on his way. Chloe and Nate are going to go their own way. Mark Wahlberg, I swear to God, I paused it. I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Because he's in Barcelona.
Yeah.
And it's in the background first. And I'm like, well, that's such. And I paused. This is what I paused. I saw is a big Papa John's sign. And I'm like, oh, of course. They somehow weaseled in product placement in this stupid movie. How ridiculous.
No.
Let me now continue with the rest of the sequence. And then he goes in, and it's an action sequence inside a
And he's
Barcelona
got
Papa John's.
that line, right?
Yeah, he's like, I'm in a Papa John's.
Literally.
I can't believe it.
Oh my
This-
god.
Speaking of the N-word, by the way.
Yeah, totally.
I mean,
I got my buddy's pizza place in the movie.
I thought that's what you were talking about back then.
I mean, it is just like, I don't know, man. Really? There's a Papa John's in this
Yes.
right next to this fucking 600-year-old church or whatever you're doing?
I mean, since it made so much money, it does deserve to go up there in the path. There's certain product placements in history that are just beyond anything else I can conceive
Yeah.
of. I turn to the World War Z Pepsi at the end of World War Z
That's
is
a gold
incredible.
standard.
But also Red Dawn remake, the Subway sandwich thing,
Right.
where a sandwich artist that they literally say like whatever it's like sandwich artiste or something.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
Subway sandwich artists.
He literally is like, sandwich artist, make that movie, make that sandwich with like a gun in his face.
Oh no, I wouldn't call them to their face a sandwich.
he's
artist.
doing that as well.
This is on the Mount Rushmore now because it's a Papa John's, but then there's a wall with glass on it that has an artifact
So,
behind
like,
it.
Yep.
because it's like such a historical building that the Papa John's is in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That how dark is that? You know, but
Grim fucking reality.
they have that
dude.
glass sheet there, and he eventually gets into a fight with I think Joe.
Joe
again?
shows
Joe,
up
yeah.
here.
Throws her through the glass, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's a
Yeah.
big like picking her up over his head and just tossing this
Meanwhile,
assassin.
Tom Holland and Chloe there, they use their cross to open some lever on just like a hutch,
Yes.
like a piece of furniture
Mhm.
that I'm so glad no one has ever moved in thousands
Yes.
of years.
This stuff is just all out in the open.
Yeah.
The hutch has already happened, but it's ridiculous because it is
Right.
just like in this church basement. And yeah, I had the same thought actually, dude. I was like, no one ever had to move this to vacuum or anything.
I
Like what?
forgot that they're drowning in
Yes.
a Papa John's.
Yes, they're
Like the
drowning
wall or
underneath the
something, yeah.
Papa John's because like they turn the key again in this other part, and then all this fountain that Mark Wahlberg is standing next to drains down into this
It'd be
area.
amazing if they're like drowning. Oh my God, I'm drowning. Oh, let me get above. Oh God, that smells like shit. Okay, oh, you're drowning. Oh my God, that smells like shit.
Oh my god, that fucking butter garlic sauce. Oh my god, I'd rather be dead.
I can't breathe either way. No oxygen's getting in.
Those aren't chicken wings. Those aren't chicken wings.
How's the air spicy? It's disgusting. Oh God. I'd rather. No, I'm gonna drop.
Oh god, there's such a peppercini right in my mouth.
Oh my god, I tried to breathe through my nose and I inhaled a bunch of red pepper flakes. Oh my god.
His blood.
Puts his part of the key in there, whatever the fuck, turns that and saves them. It drains out and whatnot.
Yeah.
God damn.
And the movie continues.
Then they're in a chamber with all these salt things, and for the second time in the movie, she knocks him out and steals the treasure map.
Which, yes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a treasure map. They thought the gold would be there. No, it's just the map to the gold. When they unroll this map, I think it should instantly dissolve.
Yes. Oh my
By-
God.
by
They're
hitting
touching
the
with
air.
Papa John's fingers, man.
You got that garlicky butter sauce all over it, man.
Yeah, if those things react, it might actually cause your skin to melt off.
Yes.
Just to feel the two things together.
Oh shit, I figured out why we never found the treasure.
Now she's working with with Antonio Banderas because she's a double.
BW, your brother's totally dead. Ask Mark Wahlberg about that.
Find him while we go on this treasure hunt.
Yes.
Well, this was also fucking Tom Holland and Little Drake here. He fucked up big time because it was Mark Wahlberg was like, "Yeah, bro, I know your brother. Here's this blurry picture on my phone."
He's
And,
kind of like catfished into it.
Yeah, I was like, it's like there's three. He's like, here are some medical records that are definitely accurate.
I kept hanging out with your brother, but he would never turn his camera on. I don't know. He said it was broken.
No, I never went to his house.
But yeah, so there's this weird thread that has been coming up every time Joe gets screwed over by Sully and Nate. She has to go back to Antonio Banderas, and it's like, I'm giving you one more chance.
Yes.
But this time she comes back and she's like, we're pretty sure that the so-and-so's got the whatever. And then Chloe comes out
Yes.
and
Dun,
Antonio
dun, dun.
Banderas is like, oh, well, of course, a businessman such as myself takes out an insurance policy. I hired you both at the same time.
Yeah, it's so good.
I cat to fight.
Yeah, cat fight. Yeah, CC cat fight. Yeah.
Oh, you're not into it? I figured. While we were here, I figured.
I'm paying a lot of money. I could see a cat fight.
Just a little, please.
I got a lot of men here. They've been away from their wives for a while. Just
I play the cat. If I join in, it's still a cat fight.
It's a cat fight. Yeah.
It is such fucking horseshit though, because again, this whole idea of like there's a problem and we either skate right by
Yes.
it or we forget that it's a problem at all happens here because Tom Holland completely dresses down Mark Wahlberg like in that salt chamber,
Yeah.
and he's like, you lied to me.
Yes.
You gave me hope that my brother was still alive when you knew he wasn't. Go fuck yourself. I'm done with you. Literally the next scene, he's like, all right, Mr. Chart, we will finish this mission. And then I swear to God,
Yes.
I'm done with you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, well, I'm glad the movie's back on track
Yes.
after 4 seconds of conflict. Excellent.
well, then I guess it's time for you to meet Mrs. Chart, bro. Here's my lady friend.
Mrs. Chart.
She gets charted every night. He gets we stow away on their plane. This is when Antonio Banderas is killed.
Ooh, here's the thing about that it drove me nuts. So we're on the airstrip and Sully and Nate are like spying behind
Yeah.
some crates and they're like, oh, that's clearly we got to get on there and whatever. And Antonio Banderas makes such a stink about this is my favorite car I have ever purchased.
God.
Listen, in a movie, if a character tells you that a car is important to them, that character needs to indeed live long enough to see that car destroyed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I'm picturing like they're gonna fuck up his car.
Oh,
He's gonna
no.
be really pissed
Yes.
off. It's gonna be a funny thing. He is dead way before the fucking car
Yeah.
flies out the back of the plane. Like,
why even take the car to some island? Like, what is going on? Like,
Just
Just-
come back and
just
put it in a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're never gonna go back to
oh
Barcelona.
no, this car travels the world with me. You see,
Yeah,
I never leave home
It's
without
my
it.
best friend.
Apologies, this is a transformer. Hello. This is my wife, Eloise, the sports car transformer.
I have another one back home, my friend Boombox.
I love you, Eloise.
I do love in his he's saying to the guy, like there's some like it's kind of funny because he's just some like military looking security guard
Yeah.
guy, and he's like, you there, you make sure that nobody touches my car.
Yeah.
You get this car on board safely. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then we do get, because he's Antonio Banderas, I love his voice. I love when I can just sweetly hear him speak even just a lick of Spanish. He goes, "Vámonos."
Yeah.
You get a really good Antonio Banderas "Vámonos" going,
Sure.
and I was like, "Now we're getting somewhere." And then he's
Nice,
dead.
it's
seconds
immediately
later.
dead.
He doesn't even drive it. He just
No.
wipes it with a diaper.
No, this I agree with you, Andrew. It's not Chekhov's gun. It's Jupin's Corvette. Like, you need to do this. I mean, this is something that Glass Onion, as much as I'm not a fan, understood.
Sure.
In the meta, you have to ruin the car. It has to happen.
But it's just, and then he's dead, and it's like, here's Joe, who is a fine, fighting action character, but they never set up anything else. So like, and now she's like, now I'm running the show. I'm like, are you?
And here's the
why?
thing: is she's got the Scottish guy, and then there's another fella,
Yeah.
and that's like her team of dudes. But then everybody else is working for Antonio Banderas, and when she cuts his throat, which like there's no blood or anything, by the way, fucking piss poor,
Yeah.
piss poor throat
Just not
cut.
fun.
Jason Voorhees rolling over it is great.
His watery grave.
Well, it's crazy. Antonio Banderas must be dehydrated to have like no blood in his body.
Yeah, like it's all coagulated already.
That would have been just like if they don't show it when they do it, but then like every time you go back, there's just a growing puddle
Yes,
of blood
sure.
all over this plane.
That'd be cool.
Sure, yeah. Maybe
be kinda something.
Spider-Man slips and falls in it.
Oh
no!
Oh, we had a good blood slip and fall. Good Halloween too.
Yeah.
I'm in traction. I'm back.
But so like they reveal themselves. This is where you entered the movie, right? In this great action
Big
sequence.
dumb
Yeah.
gunfight. They start dropping the cargo stuff off of the plane, and then yes, we are at the start of the movie, which made me think, "Oh boy, we are at the ending."
No, we are
boy,
not.
sir.
Oh, we are not
That is
at
not
all. And
happening.
the only thing you get from this is you see the same opening sequence play out from
Yeah,
the opposite direction
Yes.
also, so you know that it's like Chloe is fighting with all the people and
sure.
is responsible for all the stuff falling out of the back of the plane, and then she is indeed the one
Driving the car.
who is driving the car that he gets hit with at the beginning of the movie.
and they're both falling together and like they are just communicating clear as a bell all they're falling.
Oh,
You
sure.
go that way, I'll go this way. I'm
Yes.
like, you're
Yep.
falling.
You're open. Wait, okay. I've got this parachute. We're gonna follow me. We're gonna get to this cargo thing, and when you're there, and yes, we're falling 700 miles an hour.
Yeah.
There's so much wind you can't. Your ears have popped probably.
Yes.
yeah.
Remember to open the parachute
Yes.
on this. It's ridiculous.
A full conversation happened. I mean, like, I was waiting for him to be like, "Hold on, I just gotta whisper something to you really quickly. I love you."
That'd be romance, Chris. Get that
I-
fuck
I-
out of
I-
here.
I-
Right the
I-
fuck out of here.
look,
Right
I'm
the
trying-
fuck out of here.
Trying to work it up.
I couldn't believe it though, Eric. You already said the line, but when she just casually, like, they're free falling in this car, and she's like, "Hey, follow me,"
Yes.
and just air swims away. No. Then you can't follow me. Okay.
It's insane.
And this is a great place to bring it up because it is the first thing that you see at the beginning of the movie, so I noticed it right away. Holy crow, you guys! The piss poor computer effects in
It's
this
bad.
movie.
Yeah.
The
Very
CGI.
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
like normally, like our complaint about stuff, like I had some beef with Avatar with like the high frame rate, and the argument is always what it looks like a video game. Well, shit, man. If any movie should be looking like a
Yes.
video game, it's one made out of a video game, and this one can't even muster that.
It's got it's
Fuck.
the actual like thing that's happening looks okay, but whenever you see a person like a CGI person in this thing,
Yeah.
I'm just like, no, this is
when
just
he's
don't
incorrect.
spinning around, yeah.
Don't look at the outline around the body, like where like the green screen,
Yeah.
connects with the flesh,
Yeah.
like because it's fuzzy. None of it is sharp. There's
Yeah.
parts where like, they're standing. I think it's like when the brother jumps out the window at the beginning of the movie.
Mhm.
It's almost like because it's against like a night background, but
Oh,
it's
that's a
so
bad
bad,
night, but
you
yeah.
can see there's the thinnest of little green
Yes.
like around his like it is. I don't know. I mean, this movie they were trying to make for a long time. They shot it in 2020, like height of COVID and everything. But like, were you really rushing to get the Uncharted movie out? Like, let's pump some
Get it out by
bucks into
fucking
that.
February, by the way. That's what this movie came out.
Sure,
FYI.
yeah.
Was it February?
Oh yeah, I think that's why it made some money because like, nobody.
Nothing else.
Nothing
It goes
else.
to
Uh,
Spider-Man in a movie.
So they land, and this is when I hate it. I hate when I know there's a cameo in a movie when I don't even know who the cameo is.
Sure do.
And it's just, and I knew immediately where they land. They walk up the beach, and some guy's like, "Whoa, what happened to you two?" And he's like, "Well, we fell out of a plane, and then she hit me with a car." And he's like, "Sounds like something that happened to me once." And I'm throwing up. And then he has to do the, "Hey, good luck." You know what? I'm giving the thumbs
And
up.
Who is this guy?
This is Nolan North, the guy who does the voice and
Yeah.
Oh,
Of
'cause
the
I didn't-
Uncharted
I was
guy.
like, who the fuck is
He's
this?
No,
guy?
I had no
Uncharted guy.
idea, but I had to look it up, but I knew immediately
That's
like
funny.
that's something.
Yeah.
Something.
I thought it was like I thought it was like someone I should have recognized.
Scott Adkins.
That would have been
That'd
something,
been nice.
dude. Action would have been way better in this movie.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Get Scott Adkins in the Wahlberg character. We're already
Fuck,
2 stars up.
or make him fucking replace fucking Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, if you want to make a movie,
It's time to upgrade some of these video on demand folks up
Yeah.
to the majors.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Atkins should have been in there for a while.
Scott Adkins deserves a promotion.
Yes.
Get Scott Adkins in movies that may have a pubes length chance to hit a theatrical screen.
That might be
Yes.
nice.
Try it.
Give him one.
Try
Just
it.
give him one.
He's fucking great. Just try it. James Cameron, Try it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Cameron might get him to be one of the I don't know the fire Navi or whatever we're gonna
Well,
get in the
dude,
third
I'll
or
tell you
fourth
what,
one.
How
dude,
about-
we're going through all the elements now, man. I can't wait for the wind Navi. They're just going to be farting through that whole movie.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe he could take a break and make a actual movie.
No, that won't be happening, Eric. It's all Navi.
The fire Navi. They live in the
because
volcanoes.
to
or
hear
something?
Cameron tell it, people are beating his door down for these Avatar movies. He's like, I just think about all the movies I could have made, but my commitments to Avatar. I'm like, you made those commitments. No one, if Avatar 2, I still haven't seen it. If Avatar 2 never came out, people would just be like, oh, Avatar was a really fun movie. I wish
Yeah.
there was a sequel. And you could have made whatever. It's not like, oh my God, Jim, when's
And
Avatar happening?
I like Avatar 2. I will go see Avatar 3, but if you could just make just one-off,
sure.
old school.
little spy jaunt or
Yeah, a little
something.
action
What about
picture.
a werewolf movie? A Jim Cameron
Oh,
werewolf
shit,
movie?
that would be something.
I
Just
think you're
something.
only I don't want to be acidic here, but I don't think you're going to get that until he finishes at least the 7th Avatar.
Dude.
So when he is
So
93 years
we're
old,
not going to get it.
we're not going to get it. Is what I'm saying.
He's going to be going down like the Titanic by
He-
93. my
and you
friend.
don't even know. Once he gets to the 6th one, he might be like, "Hey, add 3 more onto it. Let's just fucking do it."
Just to prove everybody wrong.
Just to
yet
be like,
again.
no, look, I will make money. You don't think I'm going to make money? I'm
Well,
going to make
they-
fucking money.
They make money.
Congratulations.
They make money. Well,
So-
that's all that matters in life, isn't it?
It is.
So this resort that they wash up on, Tom Holland, I think, are we to believe he steals the voice actor's wallet? He
I
steals-
missed that part.
because he gets them
Yeah.
a room
Yes.
Yeah.
at the
I
hotel.
thought
and-
it was Wahlberg's, but maybe I'm wrong.
she has some line about like, how could you steal a wallet? And he's like, well, we gotta get into the room. And then this is where they have a sexless night's sleep.
Let's get down to puzzling.
Yep, we got to figure out these postcards, dude, and we're rearranging, and it's
we'll
like
sleep,
a real
we'll
deal.
sleep in shifts.
Yep. So
to
we can
make
keep
sure-
working on the puzzle.
Well, yeah, so make sure human bodies never get close enough for
Yep.
even anything.
Okay,
Yep.
so I'm going to keep on jerking off for 6 hours straight. Then you switch off and you start masturbating. We'll just go back and forth. And that's how we have sex.
And let me tell you, Dan,
That would be at least something, Chris.
there are ways to make research interesting to watch on the
Sure.
screen. Look at like one of the best screenplays of the last however long, Zodiac. So
Yeah.
much of that movie is Jake G sifting through shit and
Yep.
whatnot, and you cannot look away.
It's compelling as fuck.
This shit, man, they are just they're moving them around like a little cup and ball game.
Hand up over here.
Oh, yeah, sure, Chris
the
Cabot.
Zodiac was directed by David Fincher.
Yeah.
This is directed by Ruben Zombieland Fleischer, and I don't think he's got the stock.
He
I
does- he
really
certainly
don't.
does not.
No, I don't really think he's
Yeah.
got it.
And then he realized, oh, if I do the thing with the fire, oh,
And that's the old thing, like we did it as kids.
Yeah.
You write something
Yeah, yeah.
in lemon juice, and
Yeah.
then you heat it up. It's the
it's kind of
Right.
hilarious because it's like, oh, the compass, the keys of the compass. Let alone, let's not even pretend that this guy would know that he would have both keys, all that stuff. Leave that alone. He puts these keys on. It reminded me so much of that part in The Simpsons when it's like, well, there's no pattern for the cat burglar, but if we move this, that, there, oh my god, it looks like an arrow.
oh my god, it's leading right here. Let's get out of here.
Because it's like compass here, and if I spin him around, maybe they're pointing at this
And
island.
there it is. So then he writes down the wrong coordinates.
Yes.
And
Yep.
then goes to sleep. And it's her shift and she's clocking in.
Yes.
And she just
Sam,
takes it and
Ralph.
leaves. And she's out of the movie kind of
She's
completely.
totally out of
Yeah.
the movie,
Yep.
which is kind of
Completely.
insane.
Yeah.
Like it. She's been the romantic lead, the whatever. Like and like we're supposed to sympathize with her. She's, the story with her father. Like you know much more about her than you do about Joe for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like oh, my father did this, that, and the other thing. He left me. That's why I'm so cold. In a movie, then at the end, she should either redeem herself and die, or redeem herself and live. Like
Yep.
those are the
Yeah.
two options you have.
Yes.
But she has to redeem herself some way, or go triple down and she's the super evil villain of the movie,
Yes.
which is the third direction. But to have her just like, he's like, hey, I sent that girl to another part just for the boys now. It's like,
Right.
cool. I mean, but she was a huge part of this movie.
yeah.
I get where you're coming from, Steve, but I mean, you want all this romance and stuff, but you wouldn't feel that palpable friendship you have. The
Yeah.
partnership and how palpable and meaningful it
Blistering
is.
friendship.
It's just
man.
absolutely, it captivates you, their friendship.
So Tom Holland goes to the fucking boats, and then
By the way, look at your clock. It's been 20 minutes since you've seen Mark Wahlberg.
Yep.
yes,
It's just,
well, he's coming back right now.
He's
because
got to use Papa John's.
But that's we didn't mention it though. But he parachutes out of that plane,
Yes.
and because his whole thing is like, you just get out however you get
Yeah.
out, bro. Every man for themselves, kind of a thing. So he's literally parachutes out the back of that plane and is gone for like 25 minutes.
yes.
Yes.
And then it's like Tom Holland finds the cave with the two
boats.
two boats.
The Cave
and
of
there's
Forgotten
Mark.
Dreams.
Yes,
Cave of
Mark.
Forgotten movie plot.
and the gold is hidden in these barrels. Wahlberg shows up because the callback to some earlier joke where you have too many apps open or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, right. There was a tracking app that he installed so Mark Wahlberg could find them when they were in the
So
sewer.
he tracked them through the app. So he's there now, and he's very excited that there's gold.
He turns into Abu the monkey from Aladdin. He's like, oh
Yeah.
boy, all this gold.
Absolutely. There's also a really dumb thing when Tom Holland walks into the cave and he sees the boats. He goes, "We did it, Sam. We did it." And I was like, we did what, man? Up until like 30 minutes ago, you hated your brother for leaving
Yes.
you. You were under no idea that there was a mission you were, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we didn't start this movie and he was like, I'm Nate the treasure hunter. And me and my
Yes.
brother always wanted to treasure hunt. Like, that
you
dumb
haven't
scene at the beginning with the map in the museum does
Yeah.
not cut it.
You haven't seen him since you were 10, and that was 2 years ago.
Did you talk about gold when you guys saw the map? Where you always like, oh, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get super rich off of all this shit. It's not gonna be about the adventure. It's gonna be all the gold.
And Joe shows up and they hide. And this is when both boats are on the helicopter.
This is
right?
this
Yes,
is where
yes.
it's getting really stupid because
She's
it's like
airlifting these like centuries old boats
They
that
would
have been
turn
rotting.
to sand the
Yeah.
second you did anything to them.
Also,
Yeah.
just take the gold and leave. And it's like no surprise at the end of the movie, the Philippine government is showing up. Well, I'm glad they kept that in because you're flying fucking boats around.
Totally.
It's kind of
hi, look at that.
yeah, it's kind of a national security
Yeah,
risk.
And the
Look.
dumbest line is she's like, all right, gentlemen, I want to make sure these boats are priceless. If you put a hole on my boat, I put a hole in you. I'm like, you're going to strap these things like,
It's all holes. It's already holes.
Who are you
lumber.
selling these boats to?
And that again, how much do you need?
Yes.
It
you
would
got
make
the-
more sense if she had a shrink ray and put these boats in a bottle.
Yes, you're totally right.
And then was gonna unshrink them later.
Hell yeah.
I'll tell you very easy how you make this make sense. Is you get a Koopa on each one of these
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
flying
Yep.
ships.
Oh, yeah.
Then this is making a lot more sense.
Sure.
I mean,
That's true.
they're doing like when he finds the ships, it's kind of a Goonies moment.
Yes.
Like when they
Absolutely.
and then but like yeah, this was the most Pirates of the Caribbean
Yep.
I think I ever felt.
And you know
was
why?
this
Because
whole
he
thing.
calls him, hey, Captain
Yes.
Jack Sparrow, cool it
Yes.
already.
And we are fighting guys on these boats. People
And-
are being knocked off
Oh.
into the water.
But you know what? For like 90% of those dudes that get knocked off the boat, no visual confirmation that they fell anywhere because they're not showing you any
No,
of
of
this.
course
Like,
not.
It would be cool.
I want to watch these dudes. Blunk, blunk,
There's one
blunk.
guy later that we
Really
hear
eats
hit a
shit, yeah.
rock.
Yeah,
which
he's
is
That'd be
great.
nice.
And speaking of Cameron, there definitely is this movie's equivalent of Propeller Guy from
Yeah.
Titanic
Yeah.
because there's one
Right.
dude that falls and he nails like a mast on one of the
Oh, I
boats
think
and just
it's
gets covered in wood splinters.
One of the helicopter pilots that
Yes.
Mark Wahlberg subdues.
yeah.
We don't have to go through this whole
No,
helicopter.
but
no,
the
no,
one
no.
thing I would want to mention is that they dispatch all the guys. Like Mark Wahlberg's like, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna take care of the helicopter. You stay down here on the boat. And again, like if you, Tom Holland, want to make a movie wherein you're a grown man, you can't be like,
I'm playing pirate on the ship
Yes.
by myself.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ahoy, ye mateys.
Dude.
and I'm like, dude, you're fucking like supposed to be 27 years old doing this shit.
Dude, and that's what does prompt the hey Jack Sparrow down there. What the fuck are you doing, bro?
But
Baby
yeah.
lieutenant. That's
Baby
who does that.
lieutenant.
Baby
Exactly.
lieutenant. Not
Well, Captain
Uncharted.
Baby finds some gunpowder, gets a good idea to try to use one of these cannons,
Yeah.
shoots the Scotsman's.
yeah.
Dude, I gotta say,
Helicopter.
the one thing about this movie that I was like, okay, that guy gets a horrendous death,
Yes.
and then Joe, just minutes later, has a boat fucking fall on her, and that is
Yeah.
chef's kiss, exquisite
It is good.
inspiration there.
That's
is
a good way to kill somebody is by dropping a ship on them. I think that's a really
Yes.
Pretty great,
top
man.
of the list, I would say.
And these ships, they fall in the water and they're still seaworthy. Like, no, dude,
Yeah.
they would shatter into
How-
dust.
How do all the sails pop open?
Yes.
Like that's
Magic.
complicated. That's complicated even with a crew.
Yes, and even with a ship that is not 600 years old, that has been in a fucking wet cave for that entire time.
At least the
yes.
one when it touches the water, it eventually sinks like
Yes.
within seconds,
Yes.
which is something. And then the other one just falls. But yeah, you're just like, I mean, the wind. There's parts where these boats, because they're like
knocking into
they're
things.
like
Yeah.
piloting through like Beggars Canyon, and
Yes.
the boat's bashing against the wall.
I was just waiting for
ridiculous.
one of them to like get the twist. Like,
Oh yeah, just
going all the
wait,
way
you gotta go around. We're all
right,
tangled up.
shake it this way.
Yeah, totally. Someone's like getting dizzy and just vomiting.
I don't believe it. It's still intact. Even though it hit 3 rock formations, the ship is still intact.
And so if there were not the 2 obnoxious stinger scenes, I would say kind of props to this movie for no like 6 months later
Yes.
showing how we spent the money or whatever.
I do appreciate
Tom
that.
Holland kept some gold. Like, oh man, we're rich. It's amazing. End of sort of.
Penny the
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
wish.
start some fucking rock tune. Dude, some Van Halen on the soundtrack could have helped quite a bit.
Really would have helped.
Yes.
And well, I mean, Joe first gets hit with the bag of gold, right? That's
Yes.
how they
Oh,
knock
Mark
her
Wahlberg
down. Yeah.
throws the
That's
bag of gold at
How
her.
she falls off the ship
Yeah, yeah.
before
Yes,
they
Before
drop
they
the ship. on
drop
her.
the ship on her,
It's
like
a
she's
good
the
death.
Wicked Witch of the East.
Yep. It's
It
great.
rules.
It's great.
These 2 stingers, man. It's the
Awful.
first one. Because you know what? The other day I was at the gym and I watched the end of Rocky 1
Nice.
into the beginning of Rocky 2, and it really solidified something for me. You never need to set up a sequel ever.
Yeah.
The end
No.
of Rocky 1
Correct.
happens, which is, and Rocky is its own thing, and like it is very clear, like, it goes to a decision, and Rocky goes to Apollo, like, ain't gonna be no rematch. Or I'm sorry, Apollo goes to ain't gonna be no rematch, and Rocky says, don't want one. And then the end of the movie, it's like looking for Adrian. He's done the whole thing. He's completed his character journey. And then in the next movie, the beginning of the movie, Apollo just goes crazy. He's like, I want a rematch right now. And you can just do that in
Yeah.
any movie you want.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Like you can
100%.
just at any, just always know whenever that movie ends, the movie is over. You want to complete a movie,
Yep.
and then the next time, all you need to do is write 3 lines of dialogue to get you a sequel. It doesn't take anything more than that.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, you say that, but then they did all that work at the end of Batman '89 to set up that the Penguin was coming and all that. They really put a lot of
Leaves
no.
a
They did
calling
put
card at Dirty Fish.
Because that's the thing too, man. The Joker calling card. No, I know the Joker will be in the next movie, or he
Yes.
won't.
He'll,
And
yeah, either
when-
he will or he
doesn't
won't.
fucking
When I
matter.
see the poster that says the Joker is in it, I'll go fucking see it.
Yep.
I don't need to
precisely.
be excited for a sequel. A sequel will either happen by merit or not.
And this whole, I mean, and the Nolan thing is, very much at fault with this too. Like, because I mean, the whole obsession of things being trilogy.
Yes,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course.
And we just got to lead and just continue the story. No, you don't, man. You just don't. Like, it's Batman at the end of fucking Batman Returns. Oh, Merry Christmas, Alfred. Yeah, fucking Merry Christmas, Master Wayne. It's been, bless all men and women. Yeah, fucking great. Catwoman staring up at the thing. Great. It's not like then the fucking Riddler's dancing out or
Yeah.
Harvey Dent gives a business card. Nothing.
No.
You know what? At your next job review, listener, when your boss is like, I'm going to give you a 3 here because you didn't do this, that, all that. I was like, oh no, I've been saving it for next year. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah.
No, wait for the next year.
Doing
It's
a
gonna
job performance setup.
Exactly.
Sequel setup for the,
the
job
sequel,
performance.
next year's job is going to be no, because your fucking job is to do
It's a
something.
cliffhanger. I'm going to do the rest of the work next year.
So yeah, the first stinger is Sam is still alive, and this is my favorite kind of sequel
I know
setup,
exactly, yeah.
which is, oh boy, do we not have anyone cast to
Yes,
actually
we
play
sure
this brother,
don't.
because we don't know if we're going to get a second movie. So it is a dude in a wig with his head fucking down in this jail cell like the whole
It's
time.
probably Ruben Fleischer, dude.
Hi there.
Filmed it in his garage.
Writing postcards Nate, I don't know if these are making it to you because they're definitely not.
Yeah,
because
totally, 'cause
I'm in a foreign prison. What am I even writing for?
And also, where am I getting these posts? Are they prison
Yeah.
postcards? At the prison commissary, you can get a toothbrush and postcards.
Well, we saw that church that they explored was selling postcards literally like feet from the altar. By the way.
The front page is like the front of it. It's like visit beautiful Gulag.
Dear Nate, I heard there is a famous rapper now named Drake. I hope it is you. Please pay and get me out of this hellhole.
Follow up, dear Nate. As someone in the jail with me was able to confiscate in a magazine here, I now know you are not the rapper known as Drake.
It's sad because I was going to ask why you started beef with Pusha T. But
And the Raptors and not the Celtics, bro.
And then so the second stinger where people who were in the movie appear here is we're on another. It's a Sully and Nate adventure, and we're actually looking
this
like
is
the video
clearly
game
filmed
character.
like 6 months later.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
and he's got the mustache, right?
he finally has the mustache. Thank
Mark
Is
God.
this
Wahlberg,
the guy
that-
from Game of Thrones, the bad guy?
I believe
Euron
it is.
Greyjoy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Which he's good in this stinger scene. Like he could have been a
It's fine.
presence.
He would have
He
been.
could have
I mean,
been a villainous presence.
exactly.
Well-
But no, dude, you wouldn't want to do that in this movie. Oh my god, that'd be so fucking stupid.
Save the
That'd
real
be so
movie for next
fucking
time.
Stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? This movie just stole a bracelet off of me, and it's like if you want it back, come to the next movie.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, this dude who did play Euron Greyjoy on GOT,
He's also-
Pilu Asbeck is this guy's name.
Oh, that guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it
yeah.
was Alfie Allen.
No, Pilu
That's
Asbeck.
beyond.
Yes. And so, this guy, looks like a villain. And if I'm remembering the names right, he works for like a big villain from the game.
Yes.
They're saying some name repeatedly
I forget that,
that
but
this
yes,
dude
yeah,
works
yeah, yeah.
for.
I
but
like
then
this
it's-
golden gun he's got.
which is a game.
Gotta
Gaming
get
is
me
a
one of
game thing.
those.
Single shot, dude.
Not
Just like
Christopher
007.
Lee, sadly.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like a little bit of a standoff here. And then dumb walk out like, oh my God. And like we don't see what they're looking at. Cause again, there's no
I'm
It'd be
guessing
great
it's
if like Michael goes, "Is that the devil?" And it ends. Just like quick.
it's the police army shooting them to death.
Would
camera-
thou like to live deliciously?
Dude, it's a fucking black goat.
the camera like whips around. It's like, oh, bro, I'm staring at the Columbia Pictures parking lot.
Don't worry, everything's fine. We're in sunny Los Angeles.
Do want to point out, because we mentioned this dude before, and I think actually when we mentioned him on Kenobi, we mentioned that he also worked on this, but this was shot by Chung Hoon Chung, who
Yeah.
shot Kenobi and Last Night in Soho, Handmaid, and Stoker.
Sure.
So the worst work of his career here.
Pretty,
They mostly
yeah.
look good, so good on him on that one.
Yeah, it's I just want to get that out. He's a talented cinematographer.
Yeah.
But that is the end of Uncharted. Go around here some final thoughts. Chris Cabin,
Oh yeah, I wish I unviewed this.
was that your
This-
Letterboxd review?
yeah, indeed. I didn't review this. I think on Letterboxd, but anyway, yeah, I don't like this. I don't think I kind of don't want these two things mixing. This is not a sweet and sour thing. Like having Mark Wahlberg's like brusque like adventure like tough guy stuff plus this like Disney adventure kind
Yeah.
of stuff. Like it doesn't mix right. Something's off about it.
Yeah.
And the thing I like about both gets wiped out in the mix. So
Yeah.
like I just end up with nothing and I'm just watching Tom Holland and Mark fucking Wahlberg jaw at each other. It's just not worth it.
Eric Siska.
Yeah, you can watch any Indiana Jones movie and have a better time, including
Easily.
the badder ones. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I'll say it again, that newer Tomb Raider, I had a good time.
A lot of
with.
fun.
I just don't. This movie is. I'll say that. That's what I feel about it.
Correct reaction.
Steven.
Yeah, maybe I watched Jurassic World, which is such a worse movie, and then this, so like
Mhm.
this looked better in comparison. It's not good at all. It's bad. It's not a recommend. It's maybe a hangover movie, possibly. Like
see
I
it.
could just
I could
it's
see
so
it.
maybe.
nothing. But it speaks to all the things we're talking about, wherein it's all empty calories. There's nothing. There's no tension here. There's no sexuality. There's no real sense of adventure or investment in any of this.
Mhm.
So it's just a no.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything differently. I'll say one, my Letterboxd review is I just called this Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Dull.
Yes.
Nice.
Pretty proud of myself about that.
Jokes.
And actually, I would say this is a weird thing because we recommend like movies and whatnot, but play those games.
They're
I'm sure
fun.
It's fun.
A lot of fun.
And you get like the actual vibe that they were going for. 'cause,
Which
like,
one should I play if I was going to play one of
I
these?
started the 4. I think was
4
critically
is
most
the big
acclaimed.
one.
Yeah. I played through a lot of 3, which was also a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the games are fun. I'm always up for an adventure thing, but man, oh man, yeah, like the gelling of these two. And I think honestly, not that I think Tom Holland's great, but this movie would have been better if someone else was playing Sully and you
Of
make it a
course.
little closer to
Yeah.
whatever Holland's vibe is. he was
Adult
going for.
things. It would have been nice if it was just a little bit more adult.
Precisely.
Smoke some cigarettes, kid.
Please.
Totally, man. Let's Event Horizon some pizzas together, kid. We will figure it out. That
Papa
is going to
John's.
do it for Uncharted, a real stinker from last year. If you want more We Hate Movies, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. A lot of content going up on there.
Oh, yeah.
That's where all our
Right.
live streams are housed and all that stuff.
Mhm.
YouTube.com/We Hate Movies.
Yep.
You want to check out stuff there. And of course, the Patreon, always going strong. Patreon.com/We Hate Movies. We do have a We Love Movies, all about Top Gun Maverick, the Joseph Kosinski massive blockbuster from last
Right.
year.
Movie.
Super fun movie. We had a lot of fun talking about it, but yes, starring a wicked man, head of an evil cabal.
Yeah,
And
I feel
it's
the same way
military
about John
prop-
Hamm.
It's military propaganda. Yes, of course, but lighten up, smoke a doobie, and let's fly a fucking plane.
There
It's
we go.
Absolutely.
The AD, Steve, I know you are so super psyched for this.
We're
I don't
gonna-
believe it's real yet.
It's a Transformers cartoon meant for little kids called
Nice.
Transformers Bots
Uh-huh.
from last year. I don't know what's going to happen to us when we watch it. I'm
Okay.
not sure. It's cutesy poo. They're trapped in a mall or something. It's
All
gonna
I
be
can,
so-
when you say that title,
Uh-huh.
in my head, I'm like, oh, it's a thing where the Transformers are watching Tim Burton's Mars Attacks, and then they're going around going, bat, 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 bat.
That sounds better than what it's going to be.
I feel so-
Oh, yeah, guaranteed.
Who do we have
Yes.
on the Gleep glossary?
Gleep
Eric Sisk?
Glossary this month is going to be on Mon Mothma. You might know her from Andor. If you've been watching Andor, we will also be discussing the events of Andor, so
Yes.
be sure to check it out.
We're going to be watching all of it. We'll also have a very spicy Melro 2.0 as always.
That's right. And that
Right,
is
there's
So-
where the sex happens.
for the uninitiated. That's our podcast recapping Melrose Place and Beverly Hills 90210.
Indeed.
And late last year, we also released a Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets commentary, syncable commentary to that.
That's right.
2.5 hours of content of like us just making fun of J.K. Rowling, making fun of Hogwarts in general. It's a
And
lot of fun.
There's a
Chris Columbus.
preview clip on our YouTube that you can
Indeed.
see what these commentaries are like.
Check out what that vibe
We
is
have
like.
a ton of them. There's a commentary playlist of clips, so you can get a real sense of what you will get if you sign up for that Patreon.
And as always, here on the main feed, the worst of 2022, or some of at least, the jam-packed year, continues with an all-new episode next Tuesday. Steve, what are we suffering through?
Oh, we're all going to the fucking junkyard in a processional because it's going to be Halloween Ends.
Oh,
Now, this is going to be an
yeah.
interesting episode. I think I liked it more than some of these guys, but I can't wait to talk about it and Corey with you.
It
It's
would
gonna-
have to be true, Eric. It would it would have to be true.
It's fascinating. I think for the first time, the four of us appreciate or not so much enjoy a movie on completely different levels. I think we all have a different temperature on
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
So it's going to be an interesting conversation next week when we talk all about Halloween Ends. Until then, I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Zadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy.
That was a headgum podcast.